So how'd you get rid of those meese?
The meese. Every trap imaginable. They were smart, dude. They eventually would like figure one. Like I'd lay down a certain trap, they'd figure that one out, and I'd have to just change it up on them. Eventually, I had to move to like poison because they stopped messing with the traps.
They're like, fuck this. We can find food around here.
Yeah, there's dog food everywhere.
Right. Is this when you had a kid too?
No, it was before. If I had a baby in the house, I wouldn't have let one mouse.
That's true.
Anywhere.
Like my shit.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah. But it was one mouse, and I was like, "That's kind of cute." He comes steals the dog food.
It's funny.
Yeah, it's funny. And then it turned into like 18, and I was like, "Man, this was a bad call."
I don't think they're that gross. It's just like a lot. That's a lot of them. Like one mouse. Like mice are like whatever. It's just
too many. You wake up, they're on your chest. Like, what the fuck?
I remember when I was younger.
You start hearing them drag boxes across the floor.
When I was young, I stayed at my friend's house, and like he had cockroaches everywhere, and like you can't be like, I gotta go. So I spent the night, but I literally didn't sleep. I mean, I was like 12, so I was like, I didn't have the capability of going. Yeah. But like, I just stayed up all night, and laying there like, fuck. Like, what do you do?
Don't let one touch me.
The only time I was really stuck like that, my brother, he went to Kent. In the first actual house he lived in, instead of the dorms, it was him and a bunch of guys, and I guess it used to be used as like the party house for one of the frats, and it was disgusting. I mean, it was the grossest place I've ever been inside. So I slept on the couch sitting up because like there was other stuff on the couch that I didn't want to even touch to move, so I just slept sitting up. And I was like, well, Peach, I know I was going to stay another night, but I got to go.
Yeah. I learned to sleep standing up.
You can't fuck there. Like you can't hook up with somebody in the house.
Like a roach crawls across their belly.
Right. You're at college. How are you living like this? Like I know you want to get laid, right?
Yeah,
no girls even really hanging out in here.
I don't know. College girls they'll lower their standards pretty far.
They shouldn't lower it that far.
It's when they get out of college.
Girls, have some respect for yourselves.
Just blow you standing up, both you guys. She's standing up as well, bent over. He don't want to sit down or put anyone.
If he don't got books or he has roaches, don't fuck him.
Right, stay away from them.
If you go to their house and there's no books and only roaches, don't fuck them.
It's like whenever it's like I don't expect houses to be like super spotless, but like whenever it's just literally like I was in a band when I was younger. I played bass, and like we went to practice, and there's just like cat shit all over the floor in the garage. It's just like. I mean,
this is not the greatest headspace for creating music.
Yeah, it's just like
cat scratch fever. That's all I can think of.
That's really gross.
Yeah, you're just like okay, you have company coming over, like clean up the cat shit. Like I'd be embarrassed to have anyone over if there's cat shit everywhere.
Well, that's
like,
actually.
Was this the party house? Is this what you're talking about?
I'm not gonna name any names because I don't know what's being aired.
Did they used to party in this house? I think I might have went there once.
It's in Steubenville up by fucking.
I think I went there once for a party and it smelled like cat shit.
I was at a party one time and they were like, "Hey, we'll play beer pong in the basement." And I was like, "All right, cool." We get down there. There's like, one ball bounces way off the table. And I'm like, "There's dog shit over here."
Yeah.
It's like
and over there.
There's particles everywhere for sure.
And over there, I'm like, I'm not playing beer pong down here, man.
No. At a certain point, like how can you live in that environment yourself?
It's crazy.
Not to make the old Cordy joke, but we're immune to coronavirus because of the beer pong.
Right. Like, honestly, I agree with you. I don't know how you live like that because right now this place is a complete disaster because I'm trying to move and do all this stuff.
But it's offensive.
Right, it's nothing offensive. It's not like there's dog shit in the corner, but I can't even deal with how it is right now.
It's weird because how do
you get to a place where you're like, that's fine?
I think it's just slow degradation of it. Like, because I grew up poor, so things like you're just used to like that hinge just broke. You're used to shit like that.
Right.
But like something that's like jarring when you walk in the room and you're attacked by like a smell. It's just like that's another level.
It's a whole other level. I just don't understand how you live with it.
I lived with a beagle and was like self-conscious about my house because I'm like, you can't. There's just not much you can do, man. Beagle smell takes up your house.
Same thing having cats. Cause like I'll come in and I'm like you're just worried it smells like cats, and just like so I clean all the time. I do the boxes every day. I make sure to scrub the floors whenever if there's anything. But like you're just worried anyways, and like.
But it's like if you're at a depressed place, like that ain't gonna make it better, dude. Like I mean, we were talking about Jordan Peterson. Clean up your room. That is a big part of it. Like clean up your immediate environment. And you won't feel like.
Plus, you feel productive too.
Yeah.
The productivity adds to your mental health.
Like you were saying with the cats, man. That at one point in my life, I had cats. Like, who cares? They take care of themselves.
No.
The litter box is fucking the worst, man. Because if you don't clean it every day, it's gonna smell terrible.
Yeah.
And you said you have how many?
5 cats.
Jesus.
And one just died, so we had 6 cats
It's a lot
at
of
one
poop,
point.
poop, and peep, peep.
Man.
It is. That's why you got to do them every day. And we have like multiple boxes, some upstairs, some downstairs. So you kind of like gauge like where they're going. So you have to like look around all the time. I mean, I love my cats, but like I would definitely won't add more cats than right now. Once they start dying, I'm gonna pare them down.
Yeah,
and have like 2.
I thought they'd be easier, but dogs are actually easier, I think.
Well, because they all do their shit outside, and you can clean
Right.
outside, and the fresh air blows it, and you're fine. But cats,
Just when you mow, he just goes in the bag.
Let's just skip the whole thing. Let's just talk about cat shit.
yeah, no MMA podcast.
No, guys, we're changing this to the
Cat
cat
shit
podcast.
city today, guys.
By the way, I love that shirt, Kyle.
Thank you.
That's a sick shirt.
This is the second time I've owned this shirt. Actually, I found it.
Is that a
again
tool
and was
shirt?
Like, no, this is. I bought the first one from Walmart. It fell apart eventually, and then this one I found is actually like a good material.
Nice.
I bought it at like a festival.
What's
or
on it?
something.
Like, what is it? I can't
It's
tell.
just
Skeleton body.
yeah.
But
their
it's
musical equipment.
analog plugs, microphone, guitar.
Oh, guitar,
yeah, it's really
I
sick.
wish the speaker was a snare drum though.
I think that's
Yeah.
a first act guitar though. It's from Walmart, so not as impressive.
Well, no, that one isn't from Walmart.
No, this is actually a good material. Like,
So
I'm
it's a better
surprised-
guitar.
I paid $8 for the first one and $20 for this one. It better be a little better.
I'm surprised you found that at Walmart.
No, well, yeah, it was. That's what I was like, cool. And then I found the second one at some festival.
I actually want to give credit to Walmart for having way better clothes than they used to. When I was,
what about your shirt, dude? I need. I think that we need those.
Yeah, well, I got this done as the trial.
I had that tattoo though. I have that
You
I have
got-
that-
Already.
Jeez. Dude.
I got this. I got,
We're actually breaking up.
I
Yeah.
got this done as a trial, and it was too expensive. But I'm just gonna send the new logo once he's got that done
Yeah, we need his
to.
name.
I'll pay for my shit, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just pay what my cost is. But
What about you? You gotta skim something from the top, right? You gotta.
I do that. When I do,
Well,
I do sell some shirts, not very many right now. I got to get the website up eventually, but for the people that are actually affiliated
need
with
to
the
get some.
podcast, I'm not charging extra.
Well, I need to
you
get
know.
extras. I'll hawk these shirts too, dude.
Yeah.
Sounds like a
Friends that'll
scam
wear
to me. You're scamming everybody out.
This is a pyramid scheme. Another one of these online fucking pyramid schemes. Dude.
But yeah, the people that I originally went with, Thor Designs, I just started sending the new logos to them. They give me a great price, good quality shirts. So they're actually a little bit softer than this one.
For
the
those
shirts they
listeners
have.
out there, quality shirts coming your way.
Yeah, there you go.
We should have bathrobes. Sit in bathrobes.
Sit in
Yeah.
That'd be a lot better.
I actually kind of like that idea.
Yeah. Every now and then we
Homely.
should mix it up.
Yeah. Just like what we'll do is we'll have a sleepover, like where we drink all night and party, and then just be in our bathrobes for the
Yeah.
next podcast.
You should have a podcast though where everyone stays up and drinks, and you do it in the morning, like at a certain time. But you have to drink until then, and then
Oh,
even
man.
if you have to wake up for it if you pass out.
Everybody's like, I just want to get to bed.
Listen, I did a 3 a.m. podcast with Thad Crozier and
Oh yeah, you guys were all drunk.
and
after
Jordan
the bar.
Terramana. Yeah, we were smashed up. We closed the bar. And
How did it go? Well,
it actually went better than I expected it to. I aired it. At first, I was like, I'm never going to air this. And I listened to it, and I was like, fuck, I'm going to put this up.
For as bad as it could have been.
Terramana came ready, man. He was like ready to talk about like local business and like at 3 or 4 in the morning.
How long was it?
It was like an hour and a half. It might have been a little bit longer, but he kept getting phone calls from his fiance at the time.
Where are you at?
Yeah. She's
I'm
like,
doing a podcast. Yeah, right.
that's like the worst excuse at 3 in the morning.
like, oh, you're doing a podcast right now?
With what women?
It was funny.
How do you cut off like whenever you do regular like random like episodes on random topics? How do you cut off time? Because here it's like structured with like
Yeah, we kind of know
topics,
where
and
we're
you
headed.
you sort of have a
You just say,
Well-
this conversation's gotten boring. We're out.
That's kind of, like no matter what, we try to cut off in 3 hours, but other ones, like the regular Gathering of Fools, because Bastards of Bourbon kind of has a layout as well.
right
But Gathering of Fools, just like when the conversation starts to
dwindle.
dwindle.
You gotta
yeah.
feel it. It's all
Yeah.
intuition, right?
Yeah, for sure. Without a doubt.
I want to go already. I'm done.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, well, I guess we should start talking about MMA, huh?
Yeah.
Will this be cut out? Will it all be cut out or no?
No, I'm going to leave it.
Yeah.
Because I think it was actually a fun
Yeah, it was
conversation.
You got to get to know us a little bit.
Yeah. You know, Brendan Schaub talks for like an hour about his life before he starts talking MMA, right?
Yeah.
I don't listen to him.
We should do
I don't know.
we should
Does
do
he?
random episodes with costumes though. Like one day we'll all do it in UFC gloves and and shorts.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
should have fights.
I'm wearing the Shogun pants.
We should just
dude.
box. We should have a boxing match in the middle.
How about that last that last fight? Everybody that wore the gray shorts had the tight booty shorts on.
Yeah, I love that. Dude, if I fought, I would wear. You would.
Oh,
I would
yeah,
want to be the least restricted as possible. I think I'd wear those.
I agree. I have no problem with people wearing them. It was just funny to me that
Yeah.
all the gray ones were that.
Yeah.
Do you remember that one guy, Junior Albini? He like wore like the diaper type of.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
it
the
was
guy
like a
with the
fucking
blue.
diaper,
Like Dana was pissed at him.
Yeah,
right?
like what is that?
Oh no! But there was you guys are talking about two different guys.
things.
No, no, you're talking about Holman.
Yeah,
who wore
he's
like
talking
a,
about
yeah.
He wore a speedo.
Which I remember
basically.
like a thong speedo. Or something.
Do you know he has 2 wins over Matt
So
Hughes?
what is he talking? He wore
That's crazy.
a diaper.
Yeah, like
diaper on?
yeah. If you look up, yeah, I don't know. If
Can we look? Can we see the diaper?
Yeah, bring it up.
Bring up the
Junior Albini. I think it's Albini.
Yep, there
And
it is.
yeah, if it's probably just if you go to images, it's probably right there,
Let's see that diaper.
dude.
So it's like the regular shorts. It just
Well,
looked
those
like
are
a diaper,
Those are Shogun shorts. Huh?
but they're like
But
loose.
go down to the one where he's
Yeah,
no, it's up. He's sort of in the ring with
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, dude. It looks like
It's
a
very,
diaper.
those are they look like just like tidy whities.
Yeah.
And look at his backside. You see that picture with his backside
Yeah,
right
let's see
there?
his
You're
butt.
right. You're right next to
Let's
it.
see his butt.
Other
Let's
way.
see it.
There you
There
go.
it is, yeah.
Well, just because it looks.
Dude,
That's hilarious.
That looks like a diaper. Yeah.
Yeah, that's for sure a diaper.
I remember. Fuck, what's his name? He fought Cody McKenzie. He fought his last UFC
It
fight.
looks like he's got a log in the front of it.
Yeah, it does not look good.
What is he?
He looks like a big
wearing?
baby.
Where did he get those?
A fucking
know.
Oshkosh Bagosh or something.
Tune into us for all your MMA fashion.
Yeah, that's all we're gonna do is talk about fashion.
That's fucking hilarious.
I remember Cody McKenzie in one of his last fights. He was like some random fighter. He fought like Chad Mendes, but he had a price tag on his shorts in the fight. You could see his like a
hilarious.
price
He's
tag.
gonna return them. Slightly worn.
Slightly bored.
I got in a fight.
I got in a fight in them. That's all. Don't worry about it.
They see you online the next day, just like their shorts that they took back, just plastered all over.
I got blood all over
Yeah.
him.
That's fucking great.
But like,
It's
yeah,
not my blood. Here.
it doesn't speak to the like high standards of the UFC to have a price tag on their broadcast.
no, it does not. I feel like
it's funny.
I feel like they should have checked him for that, like
Yeah.
when they were searching
Yeah,
him
like
before he
just
got in the cage.
pull it off real fast.
No
Yeah.
razor blades.
Could have been
price tag.
right. Could have cost paper cuts.
Price $12.99 just on a price tag.
All right, before we jump into this card, I'm gonna grab a cube. Hold on.
A cube.
That's like the fancy.
Yeah.
Vernacular.
That's bourbon. That's bourbon lingo there.
Sounds like, well, it's like kind of cute, like a cube, just a little cube.
Yeah. Just one single cube.
It makes you think of like bourbon cube, like it just you suck on it and you just get drunk.
Yeah. You should just start. Well, you can't do that. You
What?
can't just freeze bourbon.
I don't like that idea.
No.
If
Yeah.
you can freeze your bourbon, it ain't good.
My legs are so sore after doing that work in the house yesterday. I watched the fights at Brian's parents' house because they have
Where
a
you
pool.
like crouched, that puts a lot of strain on the hammies.
Yeah, well, especially because I haven't really done squats or anything in a long time.
I went paintballing with somebody a few years back, and like, you know what I mean, and crouched down the whole time, and like I woke up the next day, dude, my legs were like locked up. I was like, oh my god,
Yeah.
6 hours of crouched down.
Well, then after that, we went to Brian's parents' house because his dad has a TV outside and a pool. So, like, before the actual fight started, we played some water volleyball, and then I just, like, swam laps for a little while.
Just to get a workout in.
Yeah, and then got out, and then today I'm just like, fuck, dude, my legs
It doesn't
are-
get easier when you get older.
Oh, man.
It's just like-
You have to work out every day in order for it to not happen.
you think about how much
Yeah,
you
that's
played
it.
as a kid and like teenager and just played basketball for 3 hours. And like
Yeah.
now if I did that, I'd be immobilized for fucking a day.
Yeah, I was thinking about that
Jeez.
the other day, just being a little kid out in the summer in the yard running around wet, and you're just fucking having a ball, dude. It
Running through
feels
the woods
great.
and shit, yeah.
Now if I'm wet for like more than I have to be, I'm just like fuck. It's terrible. Or like even being outside, it's hard to make your kids go outside because it's 93 degrees.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, you're like,
like-
I don't want to go out there either, dude.
yeah, like
Right.
stay in here
Hot.
always.
But I feel like we did.
Oh yeah, you
Yeah.
play outside from 8 in the morning to fucking 10.
Well,
Right.
we also had nothing else to do.
Right.
Like, oh, let's play this same Nintendo game that's like the same thing over and over.
This is like the boomer section of fucking the podcast where we like talk about how weak the kids are nowadays
Yeah.
in comparison to us.
No, I mean, I don't think that.
I wish my dad let me play video games all day. I would, I'd probably be better off now with not doing that. But
Right.
I mean,
But you would have enjoyed it back then.
Yeah.
But now it's like if you want your kids to get outside, you have to kind of like give them something to do outside. Take them hiking. You know what I mean? Don't, just go in the yard and roll around.
Here's a football. Throw it.
Yeah.
Like, who even makes friends with like the neighbor kids? Like that concept is so quaint and old.
Yeah, I hardly ever see kids playing outside anymore. I moved around so much in California that when we moved to a new neighborhood, I would actually just go knock on doors.
I live in
like,
a
hey, you have any kids? I would.
Neighborhood I live in now, there's a lot of kids playing with each other.
Really?
That's good.
That's good.
Yeah, I just don't see it as often because I remember even when you're little, like you just be seeing groups of kids you don't know playing all together.
Yeah, you drive through a neighborhood with your parents and kids everywhere. Yeah. All right, well, let's get into the card.
All right.
So the card last night was UFC.
Keep it up the whole time. His
UFC.
diaper.
Keep
the diaper up. Zoom in.
UFC.
Just a big, just that.
This should be the background.
Yeah.
But UFC Fight Night Whittaker versus Till. Start out at the bottom. There's actually quite a few fights on this one.
Actually, the prelims were good too, man.
I didn't watch any of them. That's why I'm not
good
jumping
ones
in.
On the prelims.
But how do you say that guy's name? Anybody? Kamzat
Chimaev?
Yeah, it comes at Chimaev, I believe.
Chimaev?
Well, this is a close fight. This is
Yeah.
as close as the Benavidez fight last week.
Another skin of the teeth.
Man,
win.
it's insane. This guy fought 10 days
Look
ago.
at these stats. Zero. He did nothing.
Yeah, and in the last fight, in his last fight, he threw twice as many punches.
Got hit by 2 maybe.
and got hit by 2.
Yeah,
like that's unbelievable.
I told somebody, I was like, he basically did the same thing last time, and I was like, well, not quite. It's
Not
kind of hard to
flawless.
top an entire total nullification. Like
Right.
he did nothing to him.
He should have thrown some punches on the ground, like when he was being like tossed around, just to get a number.
Just
of
to get a point.
Yeah, just to get a strike in your stats. Like I feel like it's worth it.
Dude, he could fight 19 times a year at this
Yeah,
pace. Like,
he literally said in his post fight, he was like, "I'll be ready again in an
tomorrow.
hour." He said in an hour.
Well, yeah, he said that. Yeah.
And somebody, who was it? Brandon Huggins, I think he replied on the post. He said, "Fuck it, tell Paul Felder to loosen up."
Yeah, right now, let's go.
I would have watched it.
Yeah.
How shitty is that guy that making his UFC debut, and then it's like you get the call, and it's like you're fighting that guy.
Yeah,
They
well,
just
you don't
mopped the
know.
guy 10 days ago, and once
Fuck that.
You
Yeah,
don't know
like-
what skill level this guy is. I mean, at the very least, though, he's a guy that got a fight in the UFC, and Chimaev,
he'll probably get another fight. I
Chimaev
imagine.
made him look like he was fighting a kid from
Well,
high school.
That was unbelievable, man.
That kid was coming up from 155 though, so that size difference
Yeah.
is real. I mean,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
he's not a big guy
But
anyways.
man, dude, I mean, you've nullified 2 guys in 10 days.
It's crazy. Well, and like you had said, like, oh great, we got another Khabib, but he's a little more violent than
Yeah,
Khabib.
it's
Yeah.
action too. at
He's
the
like
same-
bloodlust. Like,
Yeah.
there's a bloodlust about
Like
him.
he was grabbing his head, like the sides of his head, and just
right.
yanking him around.
It was fucking crazy. He literally it kind of makes me think of the God of War games.
Yeah.
Like he's just in there to maul people.
He's young too. He's like 27.
Really?
Yeah.
Kratos.
He's
Man,
young.
were these his 2 first fights in the UFC?
Yeah, yeah.
Jesus
I mean,
Christ.
It's funny that you talked about the fight last week. The guy, I'm drawing a blank. The guy who did the who fought Mark Diakasi.
Oh yeah.
It was like this guy came out the star of like Fight Island, I think, just based on these 2 performances back to
Yeah,
back like
he
this.
is, yeah.
Like you think about how much
yeah.
hype somebody has.
Dude, people were going nuts on social media about him.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
That
he's
was
the
a-
winner of Fight Island just
For sure.
just based off his performances.
Doesn't he have a fight already? Didn't they?
Well, okay, so I read reports that he was going to fight August 15th on the DC Stipe card.
Why not?
yeah.
but-
well, I mean, that's great. Like to get that card needs a little bit. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? That
Well,
would be-
but then I read an interview with him. He said that he can't fight in that card because he wants to fight in America and needs to get his visa. So he has to go through that first because he wants to fight in America next. He wants to fight Damian Maia or Cowboy Cerrone.
Look
So-
at the recap of that first fight.
where's that?
He's got it right there. There you go. Yeah, so 124 strikes to 2.
There's 2 strikes he got hit with though.
He got a body
Put him
shot.
out of commission.
That is
Oh, no.
significant strikes. So just
Yeah,
one
yeah,
of those
yeah.
was
one of them was a fucking nothing.
and he only threw 3.
Oh man.
Wow.
Wow.
That's fucking crazy, man. And he only needed 2
and
takedowns.
like you said, more violent. He threw 120, or he landed 124. That's a lot of output, dude.
That's a lot of
for
output,
a guy
man.
that's not giving you anything. You're just fucking mauling.
And it's crazy. Like the fight I just saw, the guy tried to like move around and defend
he just
himself,
couldn't do
but
anything.
he couldn't do anything. As soon as he tried to move, he just threw him back to where he was. He's like, "Knock it off! You're not going anywhere."
I feel like though, if you get signed to fight in the UFC and you look at your opponent and he has no mustache and a full beard, just don't take the fight.
I think
If he has no mustache and a full beard
and a hair lip.
yeah,
here's
that's
the
also
thing.
scary.
Chimaev's going to be in a bad position because who the fuck wants to fight this
And he's
guy?
unranked.
And a ranked guy, if I'm ranked, I don't want no fucking part of this guy.
Yeah,
No.
absolutely not. If I'm in the top 10, I don't want to
No.
fucking fuck with that guy at
like-
all.
Who's going to give this guy a fight? I mean,
You-
I'm not.
I was
no
thinking-
way.
They're gonna have to pay whoever
Oh,
fights
yeah, a
him.
lot of money.
You know what's
Yeah.
crazy enough to fight him at 170? I was thinking about it last night. Diego Sanchez.
Oh, for sure. He'd
Yeah.
get mauled.
Yeah, but like he would because like he just is nuts.
Yeah.
For sure
But-
would.
I mean, like I would love to see the fight. Plus, also, or Mike Perry would be a funny fight between them. Mike Perry and
we'll go
Chimaev.
over matching these guys.
Oh, yeah,
up
yeah.
later,
Yeah,
though.
yeah,
But yeah, that's
Yeah, because he doesn't do much for your name. If you
I'm
beat
interested
him,
to
Yeah.
think about what he's gonna.
I do
next
think
is
he needs a top. I think he's
Yeah.
he's
15.
been so dominant. It's got to be top 15.
But
yeah.
It's got to be top 15.
punishing that top 15 guy.
Yeah, we'll look at the rankings. I forget who's in the bottom half of that 15 to see where he's going to sit.
Yeah,
but
we'll look at it right after this.
Right.
But that's
Yeah.
just those stats are insane, man. He was really impressive to me, man. I was shocked.
I mean, we'll see. He could get up to the top 15 and you
fight
know,
a guy with
it-
takedown defense or some
Yeah.
wrestling. Because like the guys he fought are like British. Like they're British, first of all. They're
They're
yeah, European. Like seriously,
and typically they're strikers.
yeah, and it's like favorable matchups for him.
Yeah.
So I'm not like gonna be. I'm not saying he crushing cans, but he's kind of
But
crushing
man, I
cans.
mean,
I mean, he
it's-
kind of is,
But
the
but he's
performance
crushing
is-
cans better than anybody has
Yeah.
ever
He's
crushed
flattening
cans.
well, like I think I told Kyle yesterday that like he did what he was supposed to do to him, so that's
Yeah.
a good sign.
What more
if he
can you
struggled,
ask of the guy?
right? If you struggled with him in any way, there'd be a little more validity to the criticisms.
But it was
Yeah.
still crazy impressive. The only thing that may have been more impressive, I saw this random boxing clip of this women's fight, and apparently this lady took the last minute substitution to fight this champ, and she got knocked out in 7 seconds, 4 punches
Wow.
with
her hands up.
Was it like the mom? Like, it was like
Yeah.
a mom. It was like a soccer
When-
mom looking
when was
woman.
this?
Yeah, well, it said "mom" on her fucking
She just-
shorts.
It's
I think it was. I think it was this weekend. She literally.
Oh, it's this weekend. No, it's
I
a
think it
woman.
was this weekend. I could be wrong. It might have just. I
What
might have just saw the clip for the
organization?
first time. I don't know.
There's no like there's boxing organizations
was
for
a
women.
boxing.
for
Yeah,
women.
boxing.
Yeah, yeah.
But she literally had her hands up and still got knocked out in 4 punches in 7 seconds.
Oh, wow.
She was like this and got knocked out.
knocked her out with her own hands,
Right.
pushing them.
I think just one hit her so hard and then she dropped her hands and then she was
I mean,
like,
that's what you're supposed to do to people who aren't fighters. If you're a
And
fighter,
as far
You
as
just
I mean,
decimate them.
Rip Rice McGee. You know.
He'll probably get another fight just because he subbed on short
Yeah,
notice.
it's-
Like if he goes down to 155 and fights somebody his skill level,
yeah.
why not give him another fight?
Or-
Well, and I will say the UFC is really good about giving those guys who take last minute chances, like hey, your first fight's gonna be in the UFC.
You're
You're
gonna get
coming in
mocked.
last minute. You're probably gonna get fucked up, but we'll
We'll
give
give
you another fight after
Yeah.
this.
But we didn't know it was gonna be a 0.
Nobody knew it was gonna be that
Get
bad.
the fuck out of my office.
Like, never mind. Get out of here.
No, I mean maybe
It's a
they
roller
give him another
coaster
fight though.
meeting.
I'm sure the UFC might understand. Like, well, you ran into a fucking rolling train there, buddy.
he ran into a 185 or coming up from 155.
Yeah.
And like who just is fucking insanely talented at grappling and beating your ass. So
And I know, like we're saying, like there's a possibility he gets in the top 15 and he doesn't do anywhere near as well. But I think he's gonna still be impressive in that top 15, man.
He's a force.
I'll let you know.
Very strong,
I don't wanna
very
do
confident.
matchmaking, but like
Scary.
somebody like Michael Chiesa, who actually has grappling and good grappling. I don't really like him, but that'd be a great test for
I
something.
kind of like
that.
Michael Chiesa just because of how he won the Ultimate Fighter. His dad died while he was there.
That's endearing about him.
Yeah, but and he didn't leave. Most people would have left.
We're gonna
Right.
end up with the UFC being nothing but these champions who can just throw you on your back. And
Yeah,
just
if
maul you.
as long as they do it like him, it was like
Yeah.
he was like a bear, like
Yeah.
a bear mauling
I mean,
some
Usman's,
prey.
Usman's kind of like that too, you know. And then you got
Just
Khabib. And
Usman
then this
is.
guy's-
I'd say Usman is
it's a
more
little
active,
different.
but it doesn't look nearly as
Well,
mauling.
No,
The high
yeah.
level of it's to the level of competition though. If
Yeah.
Usman
True.
fought
Yeah.
Reese McGee, like like what else? I mean, what would you expect from that
Rip,
fight?
Rip Reese McGee.
Yeah, they
Reese
just
McGee.
McKee.
I'm not looking at. I'm not reading the name. I'm just calling him whatever I want.
Well, I think Reese McGee should be his name
Yeah.
from now on.
He should lean into it more.
McGee.
Right.
Just a shittier version of his real name.
He should get like a Reese's shirt made. All right, so I think we're all a little excited for Chimaev and McKee. Good luck in your next fight.
Yeah.
All right, so now we got is his name Oliveira or is he Olivier too?
Oliveira.
Oliveira.
Yeah.
So the fake cowboy versus Peter Sabata.
I think he's actually a real cowboy. I think he actually is a cowboy.
I just
with
mean
that.
he's not Donald Cerrone.
Our
Well,
cowboy.
I'm sticking up for him, and his cowboyness
Cowboy
is
ways.
real.
Yeah. He won't stick up for women,
Is it
but he'll
'cause he's-
stick up for
yeah.
this guy.
Yeah. I think it's because he's brown. You guys are calling him fake cowboy.
Oh,
That's
Uh,
fucked up. It's dangerous to say that right now.
I don't know. There's a little bit of
I mean, he is a little bro.
I mean, he's definitely brown. He's not Donald Cerrone,
Yeah,
so he
that's
cannot
it.
be cowboy.
He also lost. He lost to Cowboy Cerrone too. So
Yeah,
Did he?
so he
He lost
stole
the
your
cowboy.
So
soul,
yeah, so he
dude.
lost the name.
Yeah.
But this fight, it was entertaining. I think it was actually maybe the best I've ever seen Oliveira look, to be honest.
yeah. Well, he the guy who's fighting, like, he didn't have any striking. His boxing was like terrible.
Yeah,
I was watching it. I'm like, he has no way in.
he had
to-
zero way in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, not a thoroughly dominant performance or anything, but it was a pretty clear win for Oliveira. I mean,
Yeah.
he edged out every round, I think.
I wish he'd have mixed up his striking instead of keeping to the body as often as he did. It was effective at first, but
Yeah.
it would open up more
That
opportunities
first
for the
body shot
head.
crushed him.
Yeah, and like he could have went to the head a lot more with his hands and sort of because he was grabbing his body every time he
Didn't
struck.
Oliveira lose his last fight?
Maybe.
He did, yeah.
Who was it?
The crazy thing was he was allowing him to keep throwing that. No, he won against Griffin, and then win against Dalby.
See, I don't remember those last two. I thought
neither.
he fought somebody of
I don't remember
like
those
a
at
note.
all.
He fought like a noteworthy name.
Yeah,
and
go ahead and hit
lost.
load more.
He lost to Perry.
Perry.
and Nelson, Gunnar Nelson too.
Okay.
But
Maybe I thought
How is he
fought
only
some-
32?
Maybe
He
I'm
looks
thinking all
about
the way
40.
back to
he
the-
does look old, man. Man, he beat Carlos Condit.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
Damn.
the shell of Carlos Condit.
Yeah, it's just still crazy to me.
Yeah.
Uh,
Kyle hates Carlos Condit,
I
so
don't
you won't
hate
get any
him.
love from him. He's in a blood feud with Carlos Condit.
Brandon's put
they
words
talk
in
shit
my mouth.
online to each other. They what was crazy to me, like you said, that he should have used his hands more. And Sabata had nothing for him in the stand-up game. He was letting Oliveira throw this weird jumping front kick all the time,
Yeah.
like left and right. I mean,
Spamming
he
it.
wasn't
Take
hitting
him
it,
off
but
his off his feet at that point. Try to.
I feel like it
right, I for sure would.
it was a pretty decent fight, though. It wasn't like the best fight in the card, but it was.
No,
I
but
mean,
it was
like,
fun.
Yeah.
It was better than I expected.
Sabata, I don't like. Look, he doesn't seem UFC level to me. Like, I don't know what he's good at.
Let's click on him. Let's see.
he
what
hasn't
his
fought
past
in a
few
while,
fights
I
were.
believe. I think he hasn't fought in a few years, maybe.
Well,
Doesn't-
didn't-
Oh, he's
Where-
17-6-1 too.
Oh,
How
really?
old
I
is
thought
he?
They said something.
How did he beat
about-
17 guys? Who did he beat?
I thought they said. Did they say something about he had only won 5 fights in 5 years, or fought 5
How did he
fights in
fight?
5 years?
How did Leon Edwards? Oh, he beat Son. No.
Yeah, it was 5 fights in 5 years that he had. That was it. He'd only fought once a year for the last 5 years.
Isn't Ben Saunders a lot heavier?
Yeah, he fought at 170. He was at
Okay.
185, I think, in
For
Bellator.
some reason, I thought he was a light heavy.
No, yeah, he.
Well, look, they both beat Dalby.
Yeah, it's sad.
Go up though. Kyle,
He-
no, I
he was-
forgot about him.
No, wait.
No.
I watched the clip last night. He was crushed by a body shot by Kyle Noak and like screamed in agony. And
Really?
He got pounded out. Yeah, and it's a horrifying like scream too.
Oh, who was it that woke up screaming
Oh, that was Benavides.
last card?
Yeah, he woke up screaming from his knockout.
Yeah.
Seriously, he was like,
I don't think we mentioned it. or
Is that
anything.
real?
yeah,
Yeah, because he went out, and then like when they were waking him up, he woke up like ah! He was
Yeah.
still in a fight in his mind.
Pretty horrifying, actually.
Yeah, it sounded awful.
That's crazy.
Like he was like having a nightmare of losing after he just lost.
How about actually? I did see one. I saw some of one prelim fight. Who's the old ass man? I think he was the last prelim fight.
Francisco Trinaldo.
Trinaldo.
Yeah.
Ronaldo,
He
yeah,
knocked
yeah.
that dude out. He knocked that
yeah,
dude stupid.
He was
Yeah.
getting, it wasn't going good for him for a while, and then just bink. Oh,
He
yeah,
just got-
that was what I did want to talk about that because who was it that stood up and they
Dan
were like,
Hardy.
"Stop the fight!"
Dan
and
Hardy.
he yelled it so loud
That's why
and
I
like
brought it
with
up.
some despair, and I'm like, they're gonna have some words about that. Like, because the
They
ref's
did
gonna
have
be like,
words.
I'm doing. Yeah, I guess they did
Well,
get into an argument.
it's kind of fucked up though, because I think about it, and it's like, that sets a terrible precedent for.
Well, it's everybody can hear everything.
Yeah,
in
it's just that
room.
the commentators can't get involved.
Yeah.
You can't get, like,
But he was right though. Like this guy's out
look,
and he wants
watch.
none. You know what I mean? He's not even. He's like, please don't hit me.
It was a bad stoppage, but like,
I wish I knew where the volume remote was because we could hear him yell. Actually, hold on, give me 1 second.
Yeah, but yeah, I was like, they're gonna have some words exchanged about that because the whole world heard it, and the refs got his job and you got your job. I knew there was going to be some contention there. I don't really blame anybody, but I do believe that Herb should have stopped.
I feel like that's not. I feel like that's
All
not
right,
the
hold
worst
on, let's-
garbage I've ever seen. But
No,
Let's
but
hear this.
He was trying to give him a chance.
Just effortless with that. It's not over. Come on, it's not over. Stop the fight.
See, what does he say?
Hold on.
Does he say
Keep
like that's
playing.
not your job now or something?
Hold
or-
on. Keep playing. It's 2 times now.
2 times now, but he said something right before that. Like he was the other announcer was correcting the guy. Like don't was he saying something like that? Can you replay it?
Just effortless with that. It's not over. Come on, it's not over. Stop the fight.
That's the
He
second
said the
time
second
now.
time now. Yeah.
well, I read a statement from Herb Dean, sort of saying that like what he was.
What's the first one? Anybody know?
I think it's the Tanner Bozer fight. Whenever he got him the overhand right, and then he was holding his eye against the cage and he fell. So I think that was the stoppage.
What
that
did Herb
they,
say though? He said?
But he said that it was the way his body language was, that from his angle he saw him looking at Trinaldo, so you can kind of see him trying
like
to
he
gauge.
was waiting.
Yeah, he
for
was
the-
kind of gauging.
And he did have his arms up, but they were just stiff
Yeah.
up. He was just knocked out.
well, like I said, from the
I
angle I
see
saw,
where perspectives, worked against everybody there. Like, and Herb's trying to give the guy a chance. You know what I
Right.
mean, you don't,
And let's be honest, Herb's he's the best in the game.
I don't sound like I'm like Herb, get that dude out of there.
No,
but it was just
but that was rough.
I knew it was a bad situation.
it was just like an awkward sort of
Yeah.
timing of like how the stoppage went. Like it
Yeah.
was the pause made it seem, because like if he'd have went for a leg lock or went for like his legs, I can kind of see like the stoppage was early. It's just like it depends on.
Yeah.
I guess from his angle, what can you? I
But
wasn't
mean,
there,
Right.
respect to Trinaldo. He didn't want to. He was like, I don't
He
want
didn't
to
want
hit this
to.
guy again. Dude.
Yeah.
Like,
And I know you said that like you don't know if that's good, like it's not his job or something like that. But at the same time, he's a former fighter, man. You
Yeah.
know, and he's like, dude, you
he
got.
knows about
protect
being
that
knocked
guy.
out. He got knocked
Yeah.
out by Carlos
I mean-
Condit.
Yeah.
I think just sitting at home, I was like, that guy's out. He's done.
Yeah,
I
you
thought-
could
I
tell
thought it
by
was just
how
two,
he
yeah.
fell.
And the way his eyes were just wide. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm
He was
guessing when
done,
he
man.
fell, if he said he looked like he was looking at him, it must have just been that blank
Yeah, his
stare.
eyes were
Yeah.
frozen open. Like,
Maybe he's playing possum. You never know.
I just want to submit
but
this guy.
I thought that I was like, man, some people are gonna get mad at each other over that, and I don't think anybody really fucked up too bad.
There's actually a picture of them. They had words
Yeah.
like right
Yeah.
after
Well, I
the
seen a
fight.
I
They
seen
said something like,
I've seen a
they're-
video.
because the
Oh,
one
did you?
announcer's
Yeah.
like, I'm trying to get his attention, and he's arguing with Herb.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it was Dan Hardy that was arguing. with
Yeah.
him.
I don't know. Like I said, it's just like being that quiet. You sort of have to let everybody in their position do
Yeah.
their job. You have to, or things fall apart at some level.
And
you know?
the way
It's
the
tough,
distress
though.
in his voice made it sound really like, you know what I mean?
it
made
wasn't.
sound
It
bad.
wasn't
And
as bad.
Ronaldo walks in and it goes to throw another punch.
He said, "You do your. I'll do my
I'll
job. You do
do
yours."
Yeah.
Well, Herb should get on the commentating team and just start doing that. Then he should come down there and commentate some fights.
I don't know, it sounded like
But
Dan Hardy.
it
said
wasn't
that.
okay. It wasn't the worst stoppage I've ever seen. So like, it wasn't like it was so late that it was like it was a bad stoppage. I think.
Yeah.
But I think you have to be really worried when a guy is that unconscious about taking more blows. Especially, I mean, recently there's been a lot of people that have got severe repercussions
But,
from
yeah,
taking too many
Herb
hits.
also
People have
doesn't-
died. You know,
Herb doesn't want to take it away from anybody either. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? He's in that position. Like, you don't want to rob
Herb
the
is
guy.
really inconsistent with that. Sometimes
Yeah,
he'll
he
stop-
is too. Like, I mean, as good as a ref
I
as
think
he
he's
is,
still the best in the business. I do, but
I
mean,
like Josh
It's
Rosenthal.
his job to make the call.
and it's a hard fucking job.
Yeah,
It's a hard job.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want that job.
No, I mean,
I would love that job.
I would love to be. I was thinking about it. I would love to be an MMA judge.
I would love to be a judge.
I feel like I'd be a decent judge.
I feel like everybody here would be better than a lot of the judges.
Yeah.
Even Jacob, who doesn't really watch the fights that much.
You can just watch.
I mean, just like, what do you think, man?
Being not 70 and a boxing judge are probably a good start.
It's like sometimes I wonder, it's like, were they even paying attention? Like, did they just get, like, were they
random
daydreaming
number,
during this fight? Because, like, sometimes they're not fans. So it's like, how many times do guys just like, oh, my fucking wife forgot to iron my shirt today? And they're just like,
right.
I think there was a story like maybe a month ago of someone like texting, like a judge texted during a fight, like
asshole.
Like,
you shouldn't even be allowed to have
it's your only
phone.
job.
Should not be allowed to have your
No,
phone.
if you have an emergency, give it to somebody off the side.
Yeah, that stands there with it.
Right.
Yeah, and that's fine if you have an emergency, whatever. But like, yeah, don't be texting. You have one job: watch the fight and judge
I
it.
think you've given up
Point
the right
your-
to emergencies once you're judging a fight.
Yeah.
You're not allowed.
Yeah, no emergencies.
No. You know, it's an emergency. This guy's getting punched in the face.
Right. All right, next fight.
Next.
This
All right.
is a good fight.
The infamous Paul Craig.
Great story, Paul Craig.
I want a Paul Craig shirt. I really do.
I actually like him.
No,
I do too.
I mean,
He looked great.
I just was having a laugh at the fact that none of us could remember much about him or anybody that he fought when we were
I
talking.
knew he
about
fought
him
Shogun. That's what I
last
knew.
time.
Right. That's all we do. Yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead and click on him real
And
quick.
I knew that he has a bunch of like submissions in the third round after getting beat up for 3 rounds.
Yeah,
He's tough,
he
man.
pulled him on again.
You don't see a lot of triangles like that.
Not
That
third round,
sneaky, you know.
Yeah. Well, it was crazy when they showed the highlights. I mean, he was lighting Shogun up in the highlights. What did you hear what he said? What the announcer said? He was like, "And next we have 2 submission specialists that love a knockout." And I'm like, "What? Like who have they knocked out?"
I feel like they just say shit like that.
Yeah. Well, and you know what? Maybe they do like watching knockouts.
Yeah.
They're like, man, I love to see a good knockout.
Who doesn't? You know?
Right.
I think I was watching one of
Safe bet there.
I forget which prelim it was, but it was like 2 random fighters. I think they're both debuting or early on, and they said something like, "See who's going to emerge as the next contender." I'm like, that's not yet for them.
Yeah.
That's like 5 fights down the road for them. Like
Neither of these
it's
guys.
very
That guy's name is
premature.
Bear Jew.
Yeah, that's his nickname.
Jesus.
Oh,
He gets to
that's
give
an inglorious bastard.
he has to give Tarantino money every time he walks out.
Right.
Maybe.
But I was impressed with him. I mean, he did he get taken down?
Yeah, but he sort of let it happen.
Right, and
He
then
didn't fight it too
he
much.
almost immediately locked it up a triangle, and then kept slowly working towards the
Yeah.
triangle.
I don't think
and he was taking some blast to the face, but he knew that he kept sinking himself deeper
I
to
don't
that
think
triangle every time.
Right, I don't
Yeah.
think his opponent was really that worried about it. Like he was like, "Oh, I'm getting shots," you know.
He thought he was going to knock him out.
Yeah.
He didn't think it
He was
mattered.
generating a lot
landed
of
some
power.
hard
though.
ones too.
Yeah.
Really hard. That's what I'm saying. Paul Craig was tough in
Right.
order to sink in that submission because he was getting
Yeah.
whacked. And I think I agree with you. I think Antigulov, we were calling him Anti-Gulag.
Yeah.
Antigulov, he was landing some heavy shots. And I
Yeah.
think he thought, like, it doesn't matter that he's almost got this locked up. He's
Yeah.
about to be knocked out.
What I
I think
understand.
he was willing to gamble with it. He was like, dude, I'm slaying him down
Yeah.
here. Like,
I guess it's like hindsight's 2020, but I don't understand whenever you're in someone's guard like that and they're
gotta be
working
worried
towards a
about it.
submission. Like,
These are
why not
professionals.
work out
Right.
of that position and get into like side control or something?
Yes,
I
absolutely.
know you can generate you can't generate as much power because of the leverage, but I mean you're
But
not being
I
threatened.
feel
by
like your
submission.
power gets like a lot of those shots you're trying to throw down like that.
Right.
Like they get wrecked because the guy's pushing you away with his legs. So you can barely get there sometimes. I mean, he landed a few good ones, but
He
a lot
landed
of them
quite
came
a
up.
few good ones.
Yeah, a lot of them
Yeah.
came up a little short too, though, because the guy's legs are like
Right.
pushing him away.
Yeah, I just feel like guard is like a neutral position in general. It just is.
it's
like,
a lot of work to work around a guy's legs too.
especially
Yeah.
he's tall. His
This
legs are
isn't the
long.
days of
Yeah.
Tito Ortiz ground and pound anymore, where you can do it from
Sit
half
in
guard.
yeah. Or like John Jones when he like beat the shit out of
Or full guard, I mean.
Vera whenever you elbowed him in the eye or whatever back
Yeah.
in the day. Yeah, it's hard and it's like why not get to a better position where you're not being threatened with an active submission that
Yeah.
somebody's like
Especially
literally
a
putting on
long-legged
you.
dude like
Yeah,
that.
for sure. But yeah, impressive submission. I'm looking forward to seeing Paul Craig fight again.
Yeah, I
'Cause
mean, we're
Light heavyweight's pretty dismal, so
yeah, but he could have. There's some exciting things in front of him though if he can keep it.
how old is he? I
Does he
think
have
he's
a-
like 32.
Does he have a Chicago Cubs tattoo? Or Chicago Bears,
it
I
could be
mean?
Bears. It looks more cubby.
Which one? Over there.
Yeah.
He has like the deepest like Scottish accent.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. I don't know why he'd have a Cubs tattoo.
Do we know how old he is?
I think 32. I think it's like 30.
Does it give us the information here?
He has kind of a cool beard. Like he has a cool look and like the way he talks.
Yeah,
is
he's
32.
marketable and stuff. He's 32.
Yeah,
Is it light heavy?
Yeah, light heavyweight.
Yeah, 32.
Maybe Anthony Smith.
Yeah, because I
Yeah,
mean,
we'll look at that in a
yeah.
minute. All right, so let's go on to the next fight. Great performance by Paul Craig. Can't wait to see it. This fight was weird.
I hated this fight.
I didn't enjoy it either. In the first round, Carla Esparza took a elbow while she was on top and got her eye busted wide open and a big fucking knob or whatever the fuck you want to call it, and was bleeding everywhere. But for the most part, she was on top the whole fight.
She didn't really lay much ground and pound, though.
Of course, Brandon
Even when
hated
she
this
did
fight,
land,
I love this
even when
fight.
she did land, even when she did land, it was like your cat's
Yeah.
just pawing at her.
nothing,
Like,
yeah.
here you go.
It was busy strikes.
Yeah, she's just not an impressive fighter.
No.
And when
She has good takedowns.
I didn't know
She has
why.
good
I didn't
takedowns.
really understand why Esparza was the underdog here, though. I mean, she was the more experienced wrestler. The other girl
higher.
was and ranked higher. The other girl was undefeated, but like, why in today's day and age do we think like, oh, this striker is gonna go in and put down this
Just 'cause-
wrestler? Like,
I feel like it depends on your footwork because I think Marina, I mean, she had terrible takedown defense, but you could kind of say, I watched her past fight with freaking, I forget who she fought last, but I watched her last fight. It was a draw, and she had good footwork and good movement. It was sort of like Joanna, sort of that sort of footwork, but like on a lesser level. But you can kind of see how somebody would rise to the occasion and stuff some takedowns and sort of angle off in a way that lets them get their strikes off. But she just didn't do that. But like, what I hate about this fight is
real
not,
quick, just to interrupt real quick.
Yeah, good.
Esparza also has terrible stand up.
yeah.
So that's why they think
But
that. I think.
yeah. She's like
I just felt like she should have been the very slight favorite,
I agree. I think she probably should.
being
have.
that she was ranked higher and that she was,
yeah.
I mean, a better wrestler.
That's not even them. So what were you saying? Though?
Yeah, but I feel like this shows the flaws in the judging system in MMA, where I feel like in a fight, Marina won a fight, but Carla
she
won.
definitely caused way more
But
damage.
takedowns are worth quite a bit. Like, it feels like takedowns are very like heavily.
And you're controlling the person.
Yeah.
Your will
exactly.
is being imposed when you're controlling them.
But the biggest moments of the fight and the biggest damage was Marina when she got on top from the leg locks and sweeping her from the leg locks and getting on
Yeah.
top. She landed way more blows and way better blows than Carla landed. Even like a whole fight. Just in
Normally,
the first round.
that's my line of thinking. But like, eventually, that scale gets tipped to where
Right.
like you've taken them down and controlled them enough that it's
You won.
You won the fight.
You won the
technically.
sporting
Yeah,
competition.
right? Exactly.
that
Yeah, it wasn't-
judged this.
it
on
wasn't
this.
till-
There's a tipping point with me where it eventually becomes like, it's overwhelmingly that this person outpointed her. Them.
Right,
Yeah,
but-
that was my thing. It was just so overwhelming because at first I was like, well, after the second round, I was like, it seems like I still would say Rodriguez is winning this fight because she's caused the most damage. And then I think the second round is when she went for that leg lock and she was just raining down punches on her face. But then once you got to the third round, it's like, man, she's controlled her this whole
Yeah,
fight.
right.
Right.
The whole fight she controlled her.
I just hate wins like that. Even like nothing to do with women's MMA, just like guys in general too, where it's like
Trying to
I
save
understand
face
why
for the
they
win.
won. And I understand the scoring system, the way it works in that way. But also, I don't like that somebody got beat up that bad and
Yeah.
didn't beat them up that much and
Right.
still won. I just hate that concept.
I
And
mean,
like
we're
it's hard to
gonna-
fix it.
that's
You know?
I agree. I don't think you can fix it because there has to be
No.
a point system.
Right.
There has to be.
Yeah.
That's the only way it can be
We're
a
gonna
sport.
have
Otherwise,
this
we go back.
dilemma forever.
Yeah, otherwise we go back to how UFC was when it first started.
Just go forever.
Go forever. Yeah, 15. What was it? 15, 20-minute rounds.
Until one of you dies.
And it's like Usman and Colby's champion against everybody because they have a limitless cardio. It just comes down to cardio,
Right.
Which
Right.
is a different judging competition than that. It's
Yeah.
like who has the best cardio. Might as well be a marathon runner at that point. Just run around the cage until they get tired, then you
Trying
win.
to punch each other if you pass each other.
Yeah, but like the fight was. I mean, I
It
feel
was
like Marina
lackluster.
looked good. I like.
Marina did look good.
Yeah, like
She's
even.
exciting.
She
Put
just
her
couldn't
up
handle her
against
takedowns, which
yeah.
I think a lot of women in this weight class are going to run into. Is like, listen, this girl can't do anything to me, but I can't get her off of me.
Yeah.
Right. And you just like
Put
you
her
have-
up against a striker, though, you'll get an exciting fight.
Okay, here's
Yeah.
the. I feel like it's with high level striking by Marina in terms of like the division. She's a good striker, and I feel like it's high level wrestling by Carla as well.
Yeah.
So I'm saying nice things about women's MMA.
Oh,
That's all,
how
the only
nice.
reason. I had to force myself.
you really had to dig for that nugget.
Threw up twice saying that sentence.
Oh my god! All right, let's move on to the next fight. This was the fight I was the most excited for,
Well,
and
I'm
it
glad
was
it
a
lasted a long
letdown.
time for you.
It was a letdown.
Yeah.
Honestly, Gus looked pretty good on the feet. He looked comfortable. I don't think he should fight people that are going to try to take him down.
No, I mean,
Well,
I would like to see Gus fight another heavyweight.
for sure.
yeah, I want to see what he would do, but I don't know. I took one look at them at the weigh-ins. I mean, I wasn't really willing to risk a lot of money on it, but I put 10 on Verdum because I was like, Verdum looks in a lot
looks
better
good,
shape
yeah.
than he did last time. And
He looked in way better shape.
Gus
than
to
he
me
did
looked
last
like
time.
he put that weight on just
I mentioned that in the
hanging
chat.
out.
I mentioned that in the chat that Verdum looked good whenever we were talking online. I said he
Yeah.
looked good. Well, just like that's a lot of the questions I had coming in, like where they were body wise, just because I feel like that's.
Yeah.
I mean, your fitness has
It would
to
have been
play
it's a
into
big
it.
indicator for how bad Verdum looked last time and Gus coming up. How did he put that weight on? It just looked to me like he didn't do it in muscle.
It didn't look terrible, but it didn't look good.
It wasn't like shocking. Like, oh, he's super fat now. But
Yeah.
also like,
But he was chubbier.
Yeah.
But he cuts weight down to. He cuts down to I think 225, and then he gets down to 225 in camp, and then he cuts down to 205 when he fought at 205.
Yeah.
So he probably just looks like that before he gets into a fight. Before he trains for a fight, he probably should come in about 230. I think he could probably lose 10 pounds. I want him to be lighter and actually have better footwork so he can.
Yeah, or put it in muscle. You know what I mean? And not a ton of muscle, but muscle.
My question with him is, has he mentally checked out? Because I mean, he threw the gloves down a couple fights ago or whatever.
Yeah.
And like, how much of it is he? Does
I
he
think
even really
I think
wanna
when he
do
did
it
that, he
anymore?
just realized he was never going to accomplish his goal at that weight division. And then somebody brought up, "Hey man, you're huge. Why don't you fight at heavyweight?" And he's like, "Oh fuck."
But how
Yeah.
much is this going to affect him? Where he's like, oh fuck.
No, I feel like this loss is kind of easy to accept. I mean, Verdum
Is
submitted-
it for him? That I never watched anything after to see how.
No, he said he's fighting again.
Okay.
Like he's not,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But like, how many people could do that at heavyweight?
What?
Like
What Verdum does?
Yeah, take
Yeah.
him down, submit. Like
You don't even
Yeah,
see
not a
that many
lot.
takedowns, and you definitely don't see
high
it
level
hap-
BJJ
High level BJJ. He's the best BJJ practitioner at heavyweight.
ever.
Yeah, yeah. And
he looked good.
he looked really good.
Looked like he took
His
this
stand up
seriously.
didn't look weak. Verdum. I
It-
mean,
no, it was look good.
Gustafsson was still
Better striker.
better
Yeah,
striker.
yeah.
But Verdum looked good, and
Once he got on the ground,
Gustafsson needs to not panic when somebody's trying to take him to the
Yeah,
ground
'cause
because he literally tried to run
Verdum
away.
Chased him, yeah.
Chased him, and he was trying to run away, and
He got
Verdum dragged him
tricked.
down like
Yeah,
a
he got-
fucking alligator.
Yeah. Yeah, he had a hold of his ass. Come here.
Yeah, it's just like, I mean, he's been submitted before. He got submitted by Phil Davis back at light heavyweight. So I don't think this is going to do too much for him because heavyweight's wide open, especially since Verdum's probably leaving the UFC. That was his last fight in the contract. He's not resigning with the UFC.
Oh, he's not?
No.
Verdum?
Yeah, he's done with the UFC.
Oh, no
hell?
shit.
Yeah, which is shitty. It's shitty that like you
Yeah.
sacrifice a potential contender in Gus with a loss from somebody who's leaving. But
Well, and I'm just surprised because I still think Verdum is competitive.
Yeah.
especially with looking like that, I mean, if he
Yeah,
could do that,
right.
if he could do that to a lot of fighters, he can make his way up to a title shot pretty
Yeah,
fast.
and his striking has improved over the years. I think we talked
Yeah.
about it
Yeah.
last time. So,
yeah, he beat the shit out of
but
Kane.
if he goes to one, he can juice to the gills.
yeah, just,
I think, in my mind, though, I think Gus has been slightly overrated.
Well, and actually, you know who he would have to fight at one to win the championship?
Who?
Brandon
Verdum?
fucking Vera.
yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Winner.
Yeah, you're the champion in one fight.
And like Brandon
And Brandon
Vera's-
Vera also juiced to the gills over there. I don't know if you've seen him.
He's the champion in 2010 MMA heavyweights back then. It's just like who even rates him as a heavyweight?
Wasn't
even
he a
competing?
Well,
middleweight?
Brandon Vera actually fought at light heavyweight.
Yeah, he fought
moved
at
to
two-
heavyweight. It was predominantly UFC. He fought at light heavyweight.
Well, he
Yeah.
he said he was gonna become heavyweight champion. Remember back in the
Oh,
day?
did he?
He was like, I'm gonna be double champion. Like this is
Ugh.
before it was a thing.
Wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, easy.
Then he
boy.
ran into John Jones after he.
As Steve would say, "Easy now, Tiger."
Because I remember that being the thing. Like, he like said that. Then he got beat by Couture, I think,
Yeah.
on one of
Yeah.
the cards, and he got beat by John Jones, obviously. But
Actually, Jacob, look up Brandon Vera won championship. Real quick.
VERA. I think
What
he
he
might
looks
have.
like
I
now?
think he lost.
Yeah.
I think he lost the belt actually. to Somebody.
Did he?
I think he did. Yeah. He's huge now. He's like 44.
What is
too.
one on? What do they play it on?
Good
Dark web.
images.
You go to
The
the
dark
dark,
web.
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 That's it.
Underground basement.
Like he's not like
Look at
he's
him.
not like ripped, but he was never that muscular.
Kinda yoked.
Like,
Yeah.
Look at how big his head is now.
His
didn't
body's
look-
so
DH
wide,
head.
too.
He didn't look anything like that in UFC.
No, nothing.
So, all right. So we're talking about Verdum versus
Wait, it said defends one championship against Japanese fighter. Like not even a name.
Japanese fighter, not a name.
Just
Player one has entered the game.
But I agree with Brandon. I don't think there's too much to take away from this fight. Verdum's leaving. Gustafsson just ran into the fucking man at BJJ.
Yeah, Verdum.
I mean, yeah, like it's not like he got really. If he got knocked out by Verdum, I'd say different things.
Yeah. It's
Just-
not like Gus historically is this great ground artist. Like,
Yeah.
so.
Well, he did not look comfortable trying to even stop takedowns. It did. I know it's hard because Verdum's legs are trying to push you down at the same time, but he never even. It looked like he never even tried to roll to stack him up, which is the defense for an armbar.
Right.
You know what I mean? It never looked like he even attempted to do it.
Well, I don't know.
He looks like he doesn't know what's going on. When he's out there.
But they were so dry, but like, he defended submissions against John Jones for a little. Like he did okay. It's not like he's been like out grappled in every fight. But he actually was submitted by Anthony Smith, so it's not like it's It's hard to rate him because he looks mentally. It's more of a mental thing rather than a physical thing.
Especially first fight back.
Yeah.
He looked panicked.
Yeah.
That's the
he
best
doesn't
way to
want to be
describe
there
it.
Well,
so badly that
How like fucking Verdum though? If he's on you, grappling with him, it's like mentally that has to mess with you.
But I'm saying even panicked while he was trying to take him down. Like he was literally trying to run away. Like
So you don't want Verdum on you, grappling on you.
Yeah, and then Verdum literally dragged him down like a fucking alligator, crocodile, whatever you want to say. But all right, so Verdum doesn't matter because he's leaving. Gustafsson, I think it's crazy. Was he ranked number 7 at heavyweight?
No. Light heavyweight because light heavyweight too.
Okay, so let's go ahead. We'll move on. But Gustafsson, I want to see you fight somebody else. All right, Rua versus Nog. More entertaining fight than I thought it would be.
Yeah, I mean, 2 old dogs still put on a good show, man. Nobody embarrassed themselves, like. Especially Nogueira, I mean, it could have looked bad, and he, for his last fight, he looked pretty good.
I think he should have kept throwing.
He was
punches
catching him with the straights.
Constantly, and then but he was so hesitant with them. But like every time he threw it, he hit him. So just keep throwing it.
Throw
Right.
more of it.
And also,
I thought for a minute he was going to knock Shogun out.
Me too.
His leg was. So did I. His leg was badly damaged though. Like that was obviously bothering.
I mean, his body's badly damaged. Just
in general.
before the fight.
I thought his jaw was broken, to be honest.
Honestly, my takeaway is Shogun has declined quite a bit since his last fight.
He looks terrible. Like he looks like he's moving underwater. First of all,
They still put on an entertaining fight with each other, but it's like, man, if these 2 guys were in there with anybody different, they'd have got mauled.
Yeah, you even compare I say this, but then he fought Paul Craig his last fight and didn't get mauled. He came to.
But it feels like he's declined since then.
But if you watch those highlights though, Paul Craig was lighting him up, and Paul Craig's not a striker. You know what I mean?
Shogun's so slow now that it doesn't matter.
So slow. Like he just should throw nothing but leg and body kicks.
Yeah, can Shogun even kick somebody in the head anymore? Because I'm like, no, Garrett, you could kick this dude in the head right now.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
And he never
they called for it in the fight. They're like,
he never attempted it.
I feel like his hips are bad. I think he has bad hips.
Does he have bad hips?
Yeah.
Possibly. I mean, he's old. I mean, he's only 38, but that's still
he's
old.
been fighting a long time.
Long time.
In battles, wars.
I feel like it's weird because like physically they looked like obviously Shogun looks younger, but the way they fought, they were like he was 44 as well with Little Nog.
Right.
Like, they were right there together physically.
Absolutely.
I feel like there's a noticeable decline in Shogun since his last fight.
I agree, and I think actually even though Shogun won, this fight should still take him out of the top 15.
Yeah.
Well,
honestly,
I feel like he could have lost the fight.
Yeah.
Like it was close.
Yeah,
it was a close fight.
It was definitely close. It was definitely close. I had Shogun winning it, but it was close. Shogun took over the 3rd round.
Yeah.
Too close for me because it was part of a two fight parlay for me, and so that was the old pucker deal butthole there. It's pretty scary.
But if Shogun does fight again, I say
he shouldn't fight again. He should just retire.
He should not fight again. If he does, just leg kick and body kick all day.
That's honestly a great fight for both of them. A last fight for both of them.
Right, a trilogy
Two
fight.
Legends, and they still managed to put on a good show. It was exciting. I was excited the whole time.
They should do Shogun versus Yuri Proyaka. He needs a fight. Both coming off wins. He's only 27. There's only.
You're gonna feed him to that man.
Chimaev.
Yeah, Chimaev versus Shogun. I'd watch Chimaev.
I would.
Shogun.
I don't even care if it's 205 and 170.
Just do it.
He'd probably beat the shit out of Shogun.
Probably would.
He probably would. Yeah. All right, so it was a fun fight.
Who were you guys rooting for, by the way?
I was honestly rooting for Nog.
Yeah, me too. Because it's like this. the idea of him losing 3 times to the same guy is just like, that's depressing. His last fight too.
I was rooting for my bank account. Shogun.
Bias.
Yeah.
Money ruins everything.
Yeah. Made it pretty exciting when it was over.
That's true.
He won, really. It was like, I hope he won, but
Yeah, I wasn't sure.
Yeah. All right. So the last fight of the night, we had Whittaker versus Till.
it's an okay fight.
It was okay.
I thought it was exciting. Till was throwing shots that I thought could end Whittaker at any moment. Like,
Yeah.
he didn't get a lot of them, but the ones that landed were pretty scary for me because of my bank account.
I feel like Till needs to go back and reassess his game.
Well, did you hear that he blew out his knee in
Yeah,
the
I heard
second
that.
in the
I
second
could tell his
round, I
leg was
think?
bothering him badly.
Yeah.
Like, because the first round, it went from the first round. Till looked better than I think he's looked ever. And then
his
it was
output was decent in the first round.
a sharp decline after that.
Sharp decline. And Whittaker just really he took over the fight. But honestly, to me, Whittaker still didn't look
No, he
great.
didn't look great now.
Why
Looked rusty.
Whittaker just keeps windmilling shit? Like, I get that. I mean, if you clock him with that, he's probably gonna put him out. But he opens himself up a lot just trying to windmill stuff. He tried to windmill Till at one point when they were both crouched down.
Yeah.
I'm like, what was he trying to do there?
To me, it looked like he was throwing those hooks where you just lead with your head, your head's down.
Yeah,
And
an
you're
uppercut would
throwing
have
like
ruined
that.
his
It
day.
doesn't bode well for a rematch against Izzy because I
No,
feel like
I don't think-
he didn't look
No.
any better.
No.
He looked just as bad in the Izzy fight, but he wasn't fighting somebody who can capitalize as well.
I mean, I don't think
Yeah.
Whittaker looks bad by any means.
No, he's still a
It's
good fighter.
It's just, I don't know. There's some holes in his game.
It wasn't really impressive.
No, and I feel like his game also is very stagnant. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people.
Till's game is stagnant.
Yeah,
I mean,
both of them are sort of similar in that respect, but
Yeah.
also Whittaker hasn't gotten any better in a few years since he beat Jacare.
Yeah.
And
No.
he's fast, he has good footwork, he darts in and out, but he's always sort of out of position. I feel like in some of the exchanges too.
Yeah.
And
well, in those dart ends, he was getting clipped pretty bad.
Yeah.
On some of them.
I mean, that elbow was vicious.
Yeah.
And then honestly, that fight could have went a lot different if Herb Dean didn't stop him for that eye poke in the last 20 seconds because he had just cut him wide the fuck
Right.
open. And then it gave Whittaker time to be like, I need to just take this dude down. And he did.
I saw that people were arguing that Till could have won, and I don't think he could. I don't think he
I don't
won.
think so.
No.
But I think that also the rounds are close enough that because it's just about.
Well, it was they were close, but to me, cumulatively, Whittaker
Was taking over.
He edged out every round slightly.
Yeah.
And it just eventually became you've built a mountain of
Whittaker got
well,
rocked in the 4th round, I think, though.
Well, in that he did in that one round. I don't remember
The
if it was the
second
second round. I mean,
He
it was
clearly won.
It was
Yeah.
50 to 4 strikes.
Yeah.
Right.
50 to 4. That's insane. And if you look at this, 100 to 50.
Yeah.
Well, he's a low. He doesn't throw enough.
Yeah.
His hands are good, but at what point, when people hype him as a great striker, and he's a good striker, he's talented.
Yeah.
But at what point do you need to actually show that you're a great striker?
Yeah.
In a
You
consistent
throw 10
manner?
good strikes that
Yeah.
are awesome, but
Yeah. Yeah, that's not.
you're waiting way too long.
I
to
feel
pick
like
your
if he
shot.
hadn't blown out his knee, 42
That too.
42 to 3.
Yeah,
round 2, 42 to 3 strikes. I know we
we
were
don't know how
talking
much
about
that
it.
derailed the whole thing.
I know we were talking about it and you guys didn't agree with me, but to me that's a fucking 10-8 round.
Yeah, I just feel like.
I think it could. Yeah,
I feel like
it could be a 10-8
stats wise, it's a 10-8 round. Watching the round, it didn't seem like a 10-8 round to me. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but like watching it,
It didn't look impressive.
right. Like it wasn't
just-
like he was being knocked around.
But
Right.
he did the only things. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like he did the only action. in the
But
fight.
but like the standing exchanges, it just Till wasn't thrown, but he wasn't getting hit with a lot standing, and a lot of the ground strikes were sort of little punches to the ribs. He did
Right.
that literally over and over again.
Right.
To me, it's just what you're doing isn't constituting a 10-8 round, even though if the numbers say that it could be on paper.
it's almost like
But you have to think about it literally with Till with those stats. It's like Till actually pretty much did 0.
Right.
It's almost
Nothing.
like Whittaker won also points on just output. Like you're trying more. Like you're
Yeah.
just definitely
Well-
trying to win this fight more.
Yeah, because they'd get into these exchanges where they'd be tense and they'd be they'd be doing feints at each other for a while.
Yeah.
I feel like Whittaker picked up on the idea that Till wasn't going to throw as often as Whittaker
He
thought
wanted
he
to
was.
counter.
Yeah, he
Right.
wasn't going to throw as often, so he can kind of get in and get the work and get busier. That's how he won the fight. That's how I feel like it went.
Yeah, I agree. I will say, I think we were in the beginning. We were seeing a different Till come out. I think he had higher output, and I think maybe the knee caused
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
caused
don't
that
know how
output
much
to stop.
that derailed his whole game plan.
But typically, he is a low output striker anyway.
Yeah.
But maybe it looked like he was changing that up. He looked really good in that first.
But
round.
Yeah.
that goes to show, though, that like when you should have a plan B. Like, you know,
Yeah.
if you don't have any grappling to fall back on, if you don't have any sort of clinch work or other ways, you know, if it depends on your leg working, it's a big part of anyone's game. Obviously,
Right.
your leg being, you know, functional. But
Yeah.
Well,
it's like you have to adjust. That's what champions do. You adjust. you
Yeah,
know?
and you know who you should take a card from if you blow out your knee is Thiago Santos.
Yeah.
Just keep going anyways.
Because he didn't just blow out his knee; he tore every ligament in his knee,
Right.
Every single one,
And then he still
and still almost won that fight.
right.
kept throwing kept throwing kicks.
Yeah.
Like I don't care if that knee that had everything torn in it was. It's probably even worse if it was.
You're already in the fight.
It's probably even
already-
worse if it was the pivot leg, like the one
Yeah.
that's staying on the ground, because
Yeah.
you're
You put the
pivoting.
weight on it. Yeah.
Yeah, but he was throwing it, he was pivoting on it, he was doing everything. He was like, "Fuck it, dude, I'm here to win a championship.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's go."
And you
That's
need
the heart of a champion.
That is the heart of a champion.
And that's sort of like how a few weeks ago, whenever Volkanovski, you know, that fight was close and there's controversy, but he lost the first 2 rounds handily, got
Yes.
dropped.
Yeah.
But he, you know, he has a good mindset of like, I need to win these rounds. I need to be busy. I need to work.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you need to work or
Yeah, he
you
didn't
know.
get buried under it.
Yeah, it's like, well, I mean, do you have to? Are you gonna rise to the occasion if you're losing, or if something happens to you in a fight, or are you gonna, you know, dwindle?
I feel like both these guys spent the whole fight though like timid as to what they didn't want each other to land anything, and yeah, I mean they were just very choosy about their shots. Whittaker said this is one of the most technical matches he's ever been in.
he said it was mentally
That
exhausting.
relates to
Yeah.
us as a bunch of guys fainting at each other for a long
being
time,
on
yeah.
edge about it. Yeah,
But
I mean, there were times where Whittaker threw bobs. Most of them didn't land.
yeah,
I come away with this fight though thinking that both guys, like their stock has dropped a little bit.
well, yeah, I mean, but for me, it was looking bad for Till, and his performance in the first round makes me think like, yeah, well, let's
He could
see
look
more
better,
of,
yeah.
of what Till's got to offer.
But
like,
I it just like in the context of his career though,
yeah,
it falls in line. Those like was you know, damage. It falls in line with the context of his career as a Till fight. You know what I mean? So it kind of doesn't paint as a better picture than
and
it should.
It doesn't
Right.
make me want to put Whittaker in the title shot again. I don't.
No.
Did not. It did not make me want to put the title shot again. But he also, I mean, with a win, I don't think he can lose his number one
No.
contender spot.
No.
But I don't want to see that fight.
But yeah, maybe we should leapfrog somebody and give him another fight in between.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll talk about the rankings.
Well, actually, so speaking of that, let's go ahead. Let's get to the rankings
You want to
page.
start with this one since we're already talking about it, or go back down to the card?
Let's go back down, just because otherwise, when we get to the bottom,
You
it's
get
like the people that
confused.
people
Did we
don't
do
care
it?
about. You know what I mean? Because like,
The star there's at the bottom, Chimiev or whatever.
what's that?
Chimiev,
Right.
yeah, he's
But
a,
typically,
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
say we keep that format. All right. So rankings. What weight class was that?
170.
Is that what he's
Chimiev.
going to fight at?
Yeah.
Okay.
welterweights.
It would be Usman as the champion. So
Yeah.
there it is.
Let him fight Usman. Let's see it.
I'd watch him.
Wow, Pettis versus Chimiev.
I'd watch Pettis.
that'd be
I'd
great.
watch Lawler.
Dos Anjos.
Yeah.
Diaz.
Diaz.
Yeah.
No way Diaz signs up for that fight.
It kind of pisses me off because like a lot of those fighters in the like Lawler, Diaz, and Pettis seem like the type that wouldn't take the fight even though they're lowly ranked because they're just stars.
I
Yeah.
think Lawler might.
I'm not really interested.
I feel like
in,
Lawler's kind of a game fighter.
I'm not really interested in the Damian Maya fight, but honestly, give him anybody up to Damian Maya. You know, and I think
Well-
I think he's earned that.
August 20, I think 2nd maybe.
Neil and Neil are fighting.
Yeah,
Geoff Neal and Neil Magny.
yeah, that's amazing.
Is Dos Anjos ready to fight, and does he need a fight? 'Cause
I think Dos
that-
Anjos was talking about fighting. I think last time I heard was Wonder Boy
Okay.
because they expressed interest in fighting
Well,
each other.
Chiesa, I think, would be a good fight for.
I feel like he's so entitled that he feels like
yeah,
he should.
I don't think he thinks that guy deserves to fight him. But
I
really,
think it is a good match.
yeah,
But I agree with you. I don't think Chiesa would take it, and if Chiesa's smart, he wouldn't
He
take
would.
it.
Why is Diaz ranked at all
have
at
no
170?
fucking
That
clue.
makes me mad because there's a fighter that could be in that spot
yeah,
that's hungry to fight.
Could be him.
Yeah, and like Diaz lost to fucking Masvidal, but he hasn't won at 170 since the first Conor fight.
Yeah.
So like, he beat Pettis. Never mind. What am I talking about? But Pettis' ranking was inflated.
Did he beat Pettis at 170?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was inflated just because he knocked out Wonderboy, which is a good win. But it's just like there's no body of work for either of the guys to justify them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like they're just big stars now in the division, so they can't really drop.
I think
them out
if
the
I could pick a name off that though, Chiesa would be the guy I'd want to see him fight.
Yeah.
That's who I would want to see.
Just because of grappling.
I'd say more likely is Vincent.
Luke's fighting, I think, next week.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I think Pettis, because I think Pettis has to kind of take any fight at this point, to be honest with you.
Well, Pettis fought his last fight at 155, which makes you think, why is he still ranked?
I don't see. I mean, that's probably a bad fight for Pettis.
It's a terrible fight for Pettis.
He had to get taken down instantly.
Yeah.
He is terrible.
But I just don't think he has the negotiating power to turn down a bunch of fights.
Yeah.
Take his ass to Bellator if you don't want to fight him.
Yeah.
Seriously, go to Bellator. Shit, get off the pot.
Yeah.
You know?
And him or Robbie Lawler, I think, makes the most sense since they don't have fights lined up. And I do think Robbie Lawler is a game fighter.
Is he fighting though? I mean,
I haven't heard about Robbie Lawler.
Yeah, I haven't
forever.
heard anything about him.
Yeah.
I hate whenever the dead silence on some guys' careers, especially when they get later on. Like you just don't know
if they're even going to continue.
Well, especially because I love Robbie Lawler.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I think you get beat up though in that fight.
But if you don't know they're going to continue, it's like, well, okay, what does that do for the title picture? And what's the?
I actually don't see anybody in the 9 through 15. I don't see anybody that I don't think that dude beats the shit out of.
No, I think well, I mean, maybe Lawler,
Maybe Lawler, but Lawler's ground game isn't phenomenal either. You know what I mean?
Jeff Neal's really good.
I haven't really watched him fight, so I can't
that's
say
the only
much.
one that
you guys need to go watch. Jeff Neal's the shit. He's really good.
Okay.
I expect him to beat Magny. Magny's a pretty good gatekeeper, I think.
Yeah.
If he could beat Magny, then you sort of are ascending higher.
Yeah.
Than
I mean, he's already higher than him, really.
Yeah. Well, no one would fight Jeff Neal, so that's why he's fighting Magny backwards. Because I mean, I don't know.
But Magny's on enough of a little streak that it gives you, it'd do something for you.
And he's a relative name in the division. He's not like famous.
I think it would move you up the rankings a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, or maybe get another guy higher than you to open up to fighting you.
Yeah.
If you are, beating somebody like Magny.
And then Reese McGee, we don't care. He's going to fight somebody that's not in the top 15, so it just is what it is, right? It's not that I don't care. Like, I wish the guy luck. We just have no idea
where they're going to take that.
Yeah. So, all right. So the next one is we're going to look at. Let's look at Sabata. Let's look at the loser first. So Sabata, but he's also not in the rankings.
I don't care enough about Sabata.
Yeah. So
we can fight Reese McGee. I don't care if
all right, we looked at that.
Yeah. So let's go with Cowboy, fake Cowboy.
Does he get a top 15? Because I don't think he even should deserve that, but maybe.
Yeah.
And who's what weight class is
170.
he in? He's 170 as well.
There's no one in the top 15 from the fight. No one's
Anthony
fighting.
Pettis.
Yeah.
Anthony Pettis.
Pettis is fighting every random not ranked guy.
Luke,
I think Pettis fought at 155 his last fights. I don't think he's even at 170.
But he always bounces back and forth, and he's not ranked in 155. I don't think.
Wow. Well, he hasn't got a win there in forever.
Probably wants to fight where he's.
Why
ranked.
is this fight up?
Yeah. All right, so we'll move on from that as well. Esparza and Rodriguez. I mean, there's really nothing to say there.
Esparza's putting herself in top 5.
I suppose she has to with that win.
Yeah, the division is what it is.
Where's that at?
It's gonna be 115.
It's right there. Yeah, strawweight.
You're looking at Gedalia or Suarez, but I mean Suarez they're looking at for title picture.
Yeah. I'd say Gedalia is actually kind of perfect.
Yeah, and Nina Ansaroff is pregnant with Amanda Nunes' baby, so.
Is that real?
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah, they're having a baby.
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Well, first of all, they're together, and they're having a baby. This is all breaking news on the podcast.
How's the birds and bees work?
I think.
All right. So, yeah, I think Gedalia is pretty much it for Esparza, right?
I mean, it's the next girl up the rankings. If you're climbing, that's who you got.
I'd like to see Angela Hill versus Rodriguez. I think Angela Hill has the fight now, but
yeah, that'd be a good fight.
Yeah, striking wise, that'd be a great fight.
I would like that. Angela Hill. Honestly, I wouldn't even care if she fought Michelle Watterson, to be honest.
Yeah.
I
mean, any striking fight with
Amanda
her.
Ribas.
That'd be a great fight too.
Yeah, line her up with a striker. Let's see a fight.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. So now Verdum and Gustafsson.
We didn't do Craig and Tikolov.
For some reason I don't have that one on here. Yeah, Craig and Tikolov. Oh no, there it is. I skipped it.
So what? It'd be 205 John Jones.
Yeah, John Jones.
All right. So Ryan Spawn is fighting Johnny Walker, so he's not going to fight. I think that's a fight that was just announced yesterday or today, maybe.
Okay.
So
Ozdemir?
Craig and Ozdemir makes sense.
That makes sense.
I know that the matchmakers usually sort of.
Yeah, I don't think that holds true all the
No.
time.
Well, since
Or-
he's not even ranked, Johnny Walker.
Well, Johnny Walker's
Yeah.
fighting. He's fighting Ryan
Walker,
Spawn.
Yeah, Walker's 13.
Yeah.
I know. I meant since Craig is
Oh,
ranked.
yeah.
Maybe Craig versus Misha Serkinov.
Mishka, I don't really know him very well.
He's the one he lost to. I think he's got a submission win in his last fight.
Let's look down. Let's see what he's got going on.
Yeah, he just beat.
Crute
Yeah,
lost to Walker in 19.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I'm good with
That's
that.
a good one.
yeah. Well, they're coming off wins together, and
Yeah.
and Tikalov can fight maybe Crute. He probably needs a fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They probably already fought before. And
I think I'd like the Ozdemir fight though
What with who?
with Craig.
It just seems like a pretty big jump.
Yeah, but I mean,
And Ozdemir, I mean,
but
he's good.
Oz
Yeah.
just lost to. I mean,
He's probably gonna knock out. I mean,
Yeah.
Paul Craig, honestly.
Yeah, I feel like that might be just too much of a jump for him.
But I mean,
he's 32, right?
Mhm.
Time to either do it or no.
should be his manager.
It's true. You should be his manager. Listen, man, I'm not going to keep wasting my time with you. You're either going to do this or not.
Please fight Ozdemir. You gotta fight him.
All right, so Verdum, obviously, he's not fighting anymore, so we're just
He
going
wants
to
to fight Fedor again.
That'd be cool.
And
Whatever.
Whatever, yeah, do it up.
I
Two
care
old
less
men.
about Fedor.
Yeah.
He's the greatest.
so
He's the greatest of all
Gustafsson.
time.
Greatest
He's the
featherweight of all
greatest, he's the
time.
greatest featherweight of all time. So Gustafsson at heavyweight, so move up.
I'll tell you, he fights Volkov. Volkov's coming off a loss
no,
to
down.
Blades. That's
I'm
a big
sorry.
jump. But I mean, this is the biggest shit got the pot moment for Gustafsson, and Volkov is a good stylistic matchup. They're both strikers. They're both tall. They're
Yeah.
both foreign. So
I'd say I like that or Walt Harris, one of the two.
Rosenstrike is fighting.
he's fighting JDS.
Yeah, Joe
JDS.
Santos.
So, maybe the loser of that fight, even if
How soon is that happening?
like the next fight, I think it's within the coming.
Okay.
weeks.
I just want to see him with a striker. Well, yeah, except
Well, that would be
Yeah, yeah.
Striker's a striker.
Yeah,
That's why I
Yeah.
said the
Yeah,
loser of that.
I agree
fight.
with you.
But if we're not going to wait for the loser, then I would say I like Volkov or Walt Harris.
Yeah.
I think that's what I would go with.
Yeah, I mean, Walt Harris is typically the type of guy that would give Gustafsson trouble. He's been
Yeah.
knocked out by.
But if
striking
I
black
mean,
men.
but if you can't, if
Not
that
being
shit's
racist,
gonna
that's the
get,
thing.
if that shit's gonna give you trouble, goodbye, Gus.
Right.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know.
Right, because
Well-
what are you going to do when you get to
Yeah.
like that? That's what
We're
like
just
the
waiting.
top 6 is.
Yeah, we're just biding time with.
Like imagine like Blades versus Gus and how bad he would just take him down over and over again. It would just be bad.
Yeah.
I mean,
Avoid Blades at all costs.
everybody avoid Blades unless you're freaking Francis and probably Stipe and Cormier. If you're anyone
Right.
else,
Yeah.
you're gonna take it down.
Yeah. Terrible. All right. I don't think we need to talk about Shogun Lil Nog. Right?
Well, that division's actually pretty okay. You go heavyweight. It's not too bad.
It's not too
Like
bad anymore.
Cyril Gain's
No.
a great kickboxer. He beat Tanner Boser, who just fought this past Saturday. But like Cyril Gain's a good prospect. Sergey Pavlovich lost to Overeem, but that's not a bad loss.
No.
Then you have like Walt Harris is not bad.
It's actually a nice. It's a
Yeah,
good looking
yeah,
top 15.
Yeah, it's not the worst division actually anymore. but
No, it's definitely not.
I think it's better than light heavyweight, to be honest.
Yeah, I would have to agree.
The only thing is, it's just a pretty clear picture of like
Top 4.
we know who's
Yeah.
who and who can be.
And there's not enough movement.
Yeah.
It's like no one fights as often as they should.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but yeah, good.
Well, I think there's a good chance Stipe and Daniel Cormier both retire after this fight.
Man, I don't want to see Stipe retire.
I don't see how he sticks around and fights Francis again just to fight Francis again.
Yeah, and it
But,
seems he's
but
gonna
if
have to
he
fight.
did beat Francis again, he could walk away as like, man, that was probably the greatest heavyweight.
Yeah.
ever,
UFC.
for sure.
Yeah,
Like,
I say of all time because I don't believe the Fedor hype. I really
yeah.
don't.
Well, I would say definitely even with the hype, that would put him above Fedor.
Yeah, I think so as well.
I don't know.
All right, so we're not going to look at a Shogun matchup,
Well,
right?
Nog
Yeah.
obviously ain't fighting anybody. He's done. That's
Yeah.
it. And
Nog's
Shogun
fighting
Shogun,
CTE at his house.
yeah.
Yeah, I
And
believe
Shogun.
Shogun should
Fighting
fight off
CTE at his
the
house.
desire to fight anymore.
Yeah, I agree. So
battle.
we're going Whittaker Till, which is going to be middleweight.
Wait, also, if Shogun had to fight again, I'd like to see Shogun fight Anderson Silva.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'd watch
As a
that.
final
it.
fight for
And I
both
think-
of them.
205, just
But I
knowing.
think he would get fucking jacked
Yeah,
up.
he would get beat
But
up.
as a final fight for both of them,
Yeah.
I'd
Just
like
like
to
it's
see
a
that.
fun fight, never happened before. It's
Yeah.
like nostalgic.
Yeah,
in all
they
the
both
right ways.
did fight in pride. They
And
both-
honestly, when Silva was champion and Shogun was champion at the same time, that would have been a dream matchup
Right.
to see.
And it'll be sad, just like the little Nog fight. It'd be sad and kind of depressing, but I'll watch it.
But to be perfectly honest, I think in that fight, after watching that fight, we'd be like, dude, Anderson Silva needs to fight somebody.
Yeah, keep
He
going.
was style on him.
Yeah, but it wasn't. I mean, it's not like watching Ken Shamrock go out there and shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
Shogun still looks okay. Like it's still an entertaining fight.
Yeah, nobody looks like Ken Shamrock.
Yeah.
Or like Chuck Liddell
Yeah,
in
it's-
2018 or whatever that was.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
terrible. But anyways,
All right,
Main
so first Darren Till. Darren Till.
you have to go up to.
We're there.
Sonya.
We're there.
Yeah.
God.
Uriah Hall.
He could fight the loser of Brunson and Shabazian, which is next week.
Yeah.
Oh.
Uriah Hall's fighting Romero, so maybe,
Yeah.
or maybe the winner of that.
Yeah.
Man, if Uriah Hall wins that fight,
Yeah. Wow.
that just shoots him up into the title picture.
Well, instantly. Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
he'll probably shoot himself right back down.
I hope not. I'm such a big
I
fan.
know. I want it to happen for him, but
But yeah, so Darren Till, Gastelum.
the timing. Well, Gaslam first of all should go to 170.
I
He
think
just should.
Till needs a tune-up path for a minute. You know what I mean? He needs 2 or 3 fights lower.
Till
and,
could
like,
fight. Oh, sorry.
He
Good.
needs to fight like, you know what I mean, a guy like Tavares or something. You know what I mean? I just the way Till impressed in that first round, I'm like,
Tavares seems like
A
Yeah.
big step down.
a big step down.
yeah, but that's what I mean. I think he needs a few of those fights to get his
He could-
confidence
he
back.
could-
or,
Maybe.
He could fight the winner of Amari Akhmedov and Chris Weidman. Chris Weidman needs, if Chris Weidman wins, he needs to step up, and Till could be stepping down. They could kind of meet in the middle and fight. Plus, it'd show how well he deals with grapplers because Weidman's
Yeah.
going to try to wrestle
I
him.
just think Till needs a break from these top 5 people.
Yeah,
you know?
but
Well, Amari's 11.
yeah,
but
right.
if he fights Weidman and beats Weidman, he needs to step up a little bit too. And Till's just
Yeah, yeah.
it's the timing of the middleweight division is actually really like annoying because
And that top 15 is really not all that impressive.
no like
Like Brad Tavares being number 12 is just
yeah.
seems
But if you
crazy to
gave
me.
Till a few of those fights, you could build him back up again. you
Yeah.
know? Like,
even just one,
yeah.
give him something to just show off his striking.
Yeah, right.
But there's Izzy versus Costa next month. Well, of September rather.
Right.
But I mean, Jared Cannonier needs a fight, so maybe he either fights.
Yeah.
Well, he already beat Jack Hermanson, so you can't fight him. So maybe fight Robert Whittaker for the next title shot.
Yeah.
That was going to be my recommendation for Whittaker was Cannonier.
Cannonier.
I think Cannonier knocks
Well,
him out.
I think probably as
it's
well.
From the sounds of it, they're gonna try to put Whittaker in the next title shot after.
Well, I heard that if someone drops out of the fight with Izzy,
He's the shot. Well, that makes sense, but
he
I don't
shouldn't know. He shouldn't.
he shouldn't be the guy next.
Cannonier
in line.
should be right there to step in.
Yeah, I think Cannonier, with how things stand right now, if Whittaker doesn't fight again, I think Cannonier should be the next.
The fight for the title.
Yes.
Because he beat Jack Hermanson, and Jack Hermanson just beat Kelvin.
Yeah.
So
So that
Yeah.
Hermanson wins pretty good for
Well,
Cannonier.
And Cannonier is a monster on the feet.
He's actually like a dark horse in the division.
Yeah,
He's
well,
really
it
good.
seems weird to say that because he's ranked number 3. Just
Yeah,
not enough
but
people know
nobody
who he
knows,
is.
yeah.
But he's a monster on his feet. He
Yeah.
throws with a lot of power.
Yeah. I'd love to see him versus Costa. That'd be a
Yeah.
fucking bullfight.
Yeah, because he used to fight at light heavy, didn't he?
He used to fight at heavyweight.
He's fight at heavyweight?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he like got cut. Like his body's way different than it was at heavyweight.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, that shows stuff like that. Instead of going up in weight, when people go down like that and get shredded, that's like, oh, this dude's ready to take the leap. He's ready
Yeah.
to make a championship run.
Yeah. And even though he fought Anderson Silva and I didn't like that,
he looked good. He looked
good.
respectful too.
Yeah,
like he's on an
asshole. I think he might have looked better in that fight if he wasn't being respectful. Honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, all right. I think I like Cannonier versus Whittaker, and I do think if there is a fill-in for the championship fight, I would rather see Cannonier than I would Whittaker.
Because Whittaker didn't show anything that he would be able to touch Izzy again in the striking battle.
No.
He actually
looked
looked
like
worse.
it would be the same fight over.
And I actually think that if he fights Costa, if he gets on his bike and tires him out, he could beat Costa in the later rounds if he doesn't get knocked out. Just because I feel like Costa needs that pressure and he needs to land a bunch of punches to beat you. If Whittaker doesn't get caught early, he could beat Costa just because Costa fades.
Right.
But it's just like, can you do that?
Yeah, I don't know. We should be talking about Izzy fighting anybody after Costa because I don't know how that's.
I feel like you're the firmest believer that Adesanya is really gonna beat him. I think it's I think it's a toss up.
I don't think he's gonna. You look at styles, you look at the way they fight and like just angles and stuff.
Yeah.
And I knew that Hall was lighting up Costa with the jab and dropped him with the jab. Just because of the pressure. You pressure somebody and you get caught, you're going to,
But I also think Hall has more power than Adesanya.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, I just like accuracy,
accuracy can play a huge part too.
I mean,
yes.
Romero
you can throw all the power you want and not hit him directly on the jaw and throw light power on the jaw and you're going to be out.
Right.
Yeah.
And what bothers me doesn't bother me, but gives me hesitation about the Izzy pick is that Costa goes for the body a lot. And Izzy, when he does his lean back, his head movement, leaves himself open for the body.
Yeah.
But I trust that Izzy's a good striker. He'll look at that.
He's a great striker.
He'll adjust for that sort of style.
He's gonna study his opponent.
By the way, did you see Adesanya's tweet during the fight?
He's just to get on screen.
He said I tweeted this just so it would be on the TV. That was the only thing.
He's funny, man.
He is. I actually like Adesanya. Yeah. He's not.
He's good for the division.
Yeah, and he's not my favorite fighter by any means. It sounds crazy to say because at the same time I look at this, I'm like, well, he's clearly above these guys, but at the same time, I'm like, for some reason, he feels unproven to me. I don't know why.
I was more of a fan of him when he was heading to the title than I am as the champion. Yeah. I feel like he stands on the shakiest ground out of a few of the champs.
Yeah, I would agree.
I feel like if he beats Costa, though, he proves a lot about himself.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
But I think that Cannonier is just as bad of a match. Like Cannonier is also a scary matchup for him.
I think very powerful and probably a little bit better of a technical striker than not a little bit better, probably quite a bit better than Costa.
And probably a better gas tank, maybe.
It's like with Izzy, it's like he's so flashy. Is that all he is? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, like, I mean, obviously he's proven to be one of the best fighters in the world, but. I don't know. I just think there's some holes there that could be exploited.
I think it's why Costa is the most dangerous matchup because he is flashy. And Costa is going to come forward at you like the Juggernaut or the Hulk or whatever and really test you.
But, though, if he doesn't get Izzy out in the first 2-3 rounds, he's going to be picked apart bad and
I think
gassed out.
I would agree with that.
And it depends on just like I could see either one winning. I like Izzy better than Costa. I think Costa's kind of like a shithead.
Oh, I would rather. Like, Izzy's a better person.
I think Izzy is a better person, but I don't hate Costa.
I think he's funny. Like he's funny in a shithead heel way.
Right. To me, he's like the funny bad guy.
Yeah.
I know that he trolls.
Scarface.
He wears those Scarface shirts.
Yeah. He trolls USADA online on his Twitter. He trolls them and like.
I don't know if that guy should be trolling USADA.
Right? Does he really?
That's He like posts memes about.
Oh yeah, you Hulk-looking son of a bitch! Come give me that pee, dude.
That's hilarious.
That's funny. And I think he said something about the main event last night. He said that they didn't train during quarantine. And he said he'll kill both of them or something like that. And it's like, so like if you lean into your heelness, I like you more than if you just like.
Well, and his heel isn't like awful heel. No. You know what I mean?
It's like just like a bully from the 80s. Like a fucking movie or something.
Like the bully, like when it's the bully that like when he's not bullying you, you're like, I like this guy.
Yeah.
He's fun to hang out with.
I'll just put up with it.
I think he's also a really impressive fighter. I'm not downplaying his skills. Mm-hmm. It's just like the matchup wise, they just like they're both great strikers in different ways.
Yeah.
Who can get off first and fight during 5 rounds?
I think they're gonna look hilarious in the cage together.
Yeah. I like that there's bad blood too. I know they
Yeah.
really hate each other. I like that.
Yeah, I do like that.
Yeah.
But they're gonna look so funny. You're gonna see Izzy
Like
next
when
to the
there's
Hulk.
Yeah, he's like skinny.
If you
It's
think
like,
about-
how is people like that wouldn't
The people that don't watch a fight, like if it's your first time,
this dude's gonna wreck this guy.
he's gonna pick him up and rip him in half.
Him like a twig.
That's why I also root for Izzy because everybody, like even Brunson, when they fought, he was like, "Oh, you're built like an old lady or something like that."
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, you got smoked in like 2 rounds, like
Yeah.
not even landed like 1 strike really. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
when you
that
talk
long,
shit like
lanky
that,
look isn't the most impressive, but it's hard as hell to fight.
yeah, and it's just like I hate when people like criticize somebody for that. Like whatever, call them, you know,
Your body's
overrated.
not shaped right.
Yeah, you're not
Can you
muscular like
kick, I
me.
bet I kick your ass. How about that?
Yeah.
Like the
Like-
the bully winning would be kind of like, you know, like in some ways to
Yeah.
me. That's why I sort of
Beat up the anime kid.
yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
lie. I think I'm rooting for.
I think I am a
Costa.
little bit. I don't know, dude.
And I can't really explain why because
I don't either.
I love
Bad
Izzy's
character.
personality.
Bad character.
It's a character flaw.
Poor upbringing. Insidious.
I don't know what it
Motives.
is.
Too much rap music.
Yeah.
Too much rap music.
No,
too,
I don't. Yeah, it's
too
like
much. Too much Grand Theft Auto.
some like vindictive part of me wants to see Costa win or something.
I don't know what it is, but I think it's who I'm rooting for. I really do. All right, well, let's get to the next matchup, huh?
Starting the good podcast
What?
myself with the good guys instead of all these bully lovers here. That's what
New
I'm gonna
World
do.
Order, bitch.
Listen, you're a sexist son of a bitch, so I don't want to
That's
hear
true.
it.
Good men fight. You know, good men. That's it.
All right, so I have no idea.
This is the next card.
Yeah.
How,
So-
how generic is Randy Brown as a name? And
Yeah.
as
Or
a-
Bobby Green.
Bobby Green and Randy.
Bobby
Brown.
Green just
They're
fought.
brothers.
All right,
Is
so
that a racist?
let's
Look at
start.
him.
Let's start at the bottom. Do you know? We're really going to lean on you here, Brandon. I think. Do you know
Right.
anything about Kevin Holland or Trevin Giles?
I know Kevin Holland's a really fun fighter. He is in a lot of scrambles. I think he won his last fight by submission.
Take a peek at that, Jacob. No, Kevin Holland, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think he won the last fight by submission.
Good evening, Jacob.
No, you probably could have just clicked on
Did he?
his thing.
Am I right?
It wasn't letting me.
TKO.
Oh, okay. So his last fight,
TKO.
yeah,
okay.
TKO.
Yeah, I think he beat him real fast. It was like literally in the
39
first
seconds.
round. Yep. Okay.
Yeah,
I
so-
don't have my glasses. I can't read small print.
Oh, just real quick, the
There you go.
last card, like there was a lot of quick endings.
A lot of quick
Like,
endings.
yeah.
Honestly, good because
Lot
we
of
would have been watching
excitement.
fights till 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
There were 7
Yeah,
fights on the main
that's-
card.
I was like, there's a lot of fights on this main card. Like,
yeah,
There's
that's
too many,
That's
actually.
probably why they started at 8.
yeah,
I like
but-
that. I like the no breaks. I'd rather have more fights and less breaks in
Well,
between fights.
obviously,
Yeah,
Get him in and
for
out.
sure. How many times did they show that Toyo commercial?
Can you go to Kevin? Can you go to
And that
the
goes to
Trevin
Shishima.
Giles? Can you click on
Trevin.
him? Yeah, because I.
Yeah, they were plugging that Ghost of Shishima last night a lot.
Oh yeah, I do want to play that.
It's fun. Man.
He's 12-2. All right, if you ever go to Trevin Giles and see.
It's right there. So,
Oh yeah, he beat James Krause. Yeah, this is that fight that he fought short notice Trevin Giles and almost won but didn't.
Krause fought
Krause-
short.
Krause fought
yeah,
short
yeah, he went
notice.
up to 185. He basically like on a day's notice and came in and fought.
Oh no shit.
Yeah. So
Fought well.
yeah, he fought well for like gassing out and being 15 pounds heavier in his weight
Well,
class.
I
But he
mean-
like had
And it was a decision. So
yeah, a lot of good moments.
yeah.
I picked Kevin Holland just because I feel like he don't know, he looked really good. He looked better in his last fight than Trevin Giles did. I did see his last 2 fights between them. I just forgot who they fought. But yeah, Kevin Holland looked good. He got the guy out in 39 seconds.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
So let's say Kevin Holland.
Yeah.
All right. So Bobby Green versus Lando Venata.
So I they fought before actually. It was a draw.
Oh really?
Yeah. So this is a rematch. I think that Venata dropped Bobby Green in the first round and then lost the last 2 rounds. So it was like a 10-8 and then he lost the last 2 rounds.
Okay.
That sort of thing where it became a draw.
yeah.
But Bobby Green just fought Clay Guida and Lando Venata just
That was his last. Clay
yeah.
Guida fight?
Remember that was like
him?
it was like what a month
Yeah,
ago.
Not long ago.
But I say Lando Venata wins the fight. Bobby Green's sort of low output and doesn't really do much with the striking, even though he's a good striker. Venata talented, but really underwhelming as a fighter. He is hot and cold, but I think he'll win.
Okay.
Lena Venata fought Ferguson on short notice and dropped him in MS1, but got choked out. So
Okay.
yeah,
So Vincent Luque, Randy Brown. Vincent Luque.
yeah, Luque.
Yeah.
Yeah, Randy Brown's not bad, but he was knocked out with hammer fist from the top position by Nico Price. Nico Price knocked him out with hammer fist from his back.
Is that who Vincent Luque just fought?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
rematched Nico Price and
Okay.
yeah, Luque is really good. He's not like the top 5, but he's
good.
yeah, he's a good fighter.
Now I have a question. The next one is Jennifer. Is she related to Damien?
I don't think so.
I don't believe she is.
No.
I was just curious. I was a bit.
Maybe it's him in a wig.
Yeah.
He's fighting women. Like a ladybug type of thing.
like a ladybug.
Yeah. I love that movie.
I love that movie.
Should be a ladybug
Let's talk about
podcast.
Ladybugs.
rest in peace, Jonathan Brandis. You know he committed suicide.
Yeah, like what? Probably 10 years ago now.
Yeah. Probably even more than that.
Bring up his shirt dog, Jonathan Brandis.
His sure dog. Don't bring it. Don't bring
No.
that up. He's not going to be on there.
He's
All right.
trolling.
So
Yeah.
I'm rooting and think Joanne Calderwood.
Yeah, I want Calderwood to win. I like her. She's
fun.
she's
Yeah.
a cute personality. It's
Yeah,
really
good-
nice and bubbly.
Good personality. Very very quietly spoken.
Yeah.
And pretty good on her feet.
She has a great ASMR voice or whatever.
Yeah,
She would
whatever
read
that
you.
is. Yeah.
I don't even know what that is really, by the way.
It's just when you like weird noises, I think.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to hear noises.
I don't like that that's a thing now.
Right, it's weird.
I think
People getting off to just noises.
Whoa.
I think the internet's done a lot of great things, but that's not one of them.
You
Yeah,
guys
it's
are
like-
into some weird shit.
It's
man.
like, well,
I'm
someone,
not into it. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, well,
I-
you know about it. I don't. So.
literally, some people will like watch videos of people just like eating for the sound.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's so weird to
Yeah, I
me.
do that.
He's like, oh, actually, I love that.
Yeah, actually, I'm,
Only like our generation, well, this generation.
there's a name for it.
That's what I mean. Oh yeah, you do it anyways.
He's like, I just didn't know that was a name.
You did it.
I have a people.
I need to find the forum.
Yeah,
It's like an awakening on the podcast right now.
I needed an outlet for this.
How can we talk about anything else besides Kyle's spiritual awakening?
Right. All right, so then Derek Brunson versus Edmund Shabazian.
I think Sabazian mops him up real fast.
I really don't know him very well. I hope he mops him up very fast.
Go
because
away, Derek Brunson.
Go away, Derek Brunson.
Can you bring up that?
We need those shirts. Go away, Derek Brunson.
I'm gonna put money on Derek Brunson just because he's the career ruiner. So.
Here's the thing about Shabazian is that Ronda Rousey's his manager.
Oh.
Is that crazy?
I noticed. I was like, they were
I'm
showing
definitely
showing
going
his
Derek
training
Brunson.
videos, and I was like, is that Edmund?
Yeah, he's a trainer.
Oh, I'm going Derek Brunson.
I feel like you almost have to go Derek
No.
Brunson.
Yeah.
No, can you go to YouTube and bring up Shabazian?
Wasn't Shabazian the name of her coach? or what's her coach's
Tarvidian.
name?
Edmund.
Tarvidian.
Yeah, and to me, just because
Tarvidian.
of how he handled Ronda Rousey, he's the worst coach of all
Bring
time.
up.
Terrible.
Is there? Yeah, watch
He's a
it.
terrible human.
Can you
you
yeah,
you
I was
asshole.
just see the
Well,
ending
and
of it.
to me, he has to be the worst coach of all time because you were literally telling her and the world that she had what it took to
You just get towards the end. Like, I
to
don't want to watch the whole fight, but I just want to see it.
to stay
There we go.
standing.
Right.
Yeah.
To stay standing with
All right, there we go. Look at this knockout.
Oh, this is Brad Tavares.
Oh, yeah, it was impressive.
Yeah, and like Tavares is not like a great fighter, but he's tough.
Yeah,
No one puts him away like that in the first round.
Yeah.
Like, even Izzy went 5 rounds with him.
yeah,
So-
that's impressive.
And this guy's like 24. So
Yeah.
he's undefeated.
Well,
But he should
needs
get away from Edmund.
Yeah, he needs better coaches.
Yeah,
Listen.
I agree, but his skill is
This-
taking him this far.
Yeah,
But when's that going to catch up to him? Because that will.
yeah, because
Not Derek Brunson, though.
yeah, probably not. But Edmund, like literally, to me, he's the worst coach of all time because he was telling Ronda Rousey and the world that Ronda was going to be able to stand with not only Holly Holm but Amanda Nunes.
Yeah. And he didn't see any reason to improve.
Well,
Yeah.
his
She's the greatest.
His eggs were in that basket, though.
Well, then play it right.
Yeah. Then
I mean, like-
sit on him and get him to hatch, dude.
Right. Well, and be like, hey, don't stand with her. He was like, stand with her. You're going to fucking
Yeah,
rock
you're
her.
gonna
Don't worry
rock
about
her.
it. It's going to
Well,
be fine.
he doesn't have the expertise to tell her to do anything else because he's a striking
Or
coach.
self-awareness.
That's why you
or
bring it
anything.
other
Right,
coaches.
no, I agree. No, yeah, he's shitty.
That's
I'm not saying
nothing
he's
as a
good.
human being that.
But yeah, but like,
Terrible.
I feel coach.
Yeah, I feel like Edmund probably should go to a new camp. It might take a bad loss to get him to change camps. Though it seems like people were pretty loyal to Edmund for some reason. I don't know why people.
He's a con artist.
Yeah, he must be a con artist because I don't understand it. Watching what he did with Ronda Rousey, because Ronda Rousey could have still been competitive if she didn't believe that she was good at striking.
She'd be more competitive.
That she was terrible at striking and that she had to work on it.
Right.
Well, yeah, she'd be more competitive also if she was more humble about her abilities and more.
But Edmund was gassing her up the whole time.
Yes.
Right, but it's your job to find a coach.
Or Travardian or whatever.
You know, his name is Edmund, right? The coach.
Edmund Travardian.
Yeah. So
that's why I was.
So you know what he did? You know what he is with that Ronda Rousey situation? Did you see that recent video where that girl was pouring all the gasoline in her ex-boyfriend's and it blew up in his face? That's what he did.
Yeah.
Gassing her up.
Gassing her up.
She would have been champion any camp she went to. So it's to
her skills carried her that far.
But yeah, but it's your job to find it. Recognize a good training. It falls on both of them to be right.
I'll agree with that.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's a terrible coach, and I'm worried for Shabazian. But
yeah.
I feel like he's just physically, his striking is just like a lot more natural than Brunson. Brunson has good wrestling, but he's actually probably gotten worse as a fighter. He's a lot better probably about 4 years ago. Brunson.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like his skills have regressed. His wrestling is not as dominant. His striking is not as powerful and fast. Yeah. It's just he's aging, and this sort of seems like a passing of the torch.
He was a serious contender there.
Right, yeah. He knocked out Machida. Yeah. I think he fought Anderson Silva, and I feel like he won that fight, even though I didn't want him to. It was so close. It was a close fight.
A quick question before I jump into what I want to talk about next. The Swedish Khabib.
Yeah.
He fought at 170. What was the fight he fought at before that?
He fought at 185 before.
185 before.
He didn't have enough time to cut the weight for that fight.
Okay. I was just wondering if
so
it was
yeah,
155.
He beat, his last two fights, Ian Heinisch and Elias Thurdu. Elias Thurdu is the worst fight I've ever seen in my life. Literally the worst striking I've ever seen in a man.
That's
Derek Brunson beat Lyoto Machida.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Knocked him out in the first round when he came back. He knocked that Dan Kelly.
But Brunson's losses are all high level guys except for
he beat
Silva
Uriah Hall
he
knocked out Uriah Hall.
It's crazy to think with watching Derek Brunson's fights that his losses are only to the top of the top.
The very best.
But it just parallel to the Izzy rise. Izzy beat Tavares, then he fought Brunson.
Yeah.
And he when the decision was Tavares, now he's fighting Brunson. The same trajectory in my head. Probably different, but this is the same fight patterns now. It's this is
I haven't
the lineage.
seen Brunson fight in a while, but
he hasn't knocked anyone out in a while.
You would think because of his resume that he would be, more not the favorite to win against Shabazian, but a little more favored than he is.
Well, and you know what? When they were showing his highlights, man, he does toss people around, but it's when I watch his fights, I don't notice that or something. Yeah. You know what I mean?
He just seems like they're showing highlights from 5 years ago. Yeah. All these knockouts are from a different fighder, I think.
Well, and not even the knockouts. He was literally picking people up and slamming them all over the place in the highlights.
But he doesn't do that as much.
That's what I was saying. I don't remember seeing him doing that anytime recently.
He actually took down Yoel Romero.
Really?
Yeah, a bunch of times.
That's fucking impressive.
Yeah. Well, Yoel Romero has actually his wrestling's good, but it's not as MMA oriented as you think.
Just to be strong enough to take Romero.
He was winning the fight until he got knocked out in the third round, I believe. So.
Yeah.
But I feel like Brunson is just a step down from where he was. That's why I think he's gonna lose.
Yeah. Just real quick, a time check, Jacob. I'm not trying to end it, but because I have something I want to get into. But
hour 30.
Oh, not bad.
Okay.
All right. So what I wanted to get into was we're gonna have a break here soon.
A break from.
There's not going to be a fight on a week. Yeah, and we keep talking about wanting to do
a themed podcast.
A themed podcast. So I was kind of maybe we could just shoot out some ideas here.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Somebody can go first. I could probably come up with something if you give me a second.
You mean topics that you want to cover?
Yeah, stuff that we want to cover. I mean, obviously we could always cover recent news or whatnot. I mean, because the other option is we just don't do one that week. But I kind of hate to do that.
We could do a shorter one with just a topic.
I'd like to stay into the mode of us doing them every week, so we don't fall out of it.
That way, next week we'll know what we're doing. If we narrow down something right now.
So one of the things that I had in my my fucking catalog here was dream fights.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's actually a good idea.
Fights.
Current fighters, you know what I mean?
Current fighters that are actively fighting,
Yeah.
Or past
any
fighters.
fight ever. Like if you could,
We could do
take-
one of each, maybe.
Yeah, if you could take like okay, but now if you could take any fighter from any era and place him for any other fighter from any
That's
era.
true. I say, you know what? Let's mark down both as an idea because I like the idea of like current fighters. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I like that idea because it keeps it more current.
Well, it could happen.
Right. But then also, I don't hate the idea of like fighters from the past fighting fighters from today seems dangerous.
A lot of them.
How about-
but
or-
there's a few that I mean, it's like these guys could have fought in any.
Or how
era.
about fights that didn't happen that should have happened back then? That way you narrow down to their current
I like
generation.
that too.
Yeah, because like, I mean, I don't want to spill my beans here. You know, whatever. Is that a phrase? I don't know if it's a phrase. It sounds terrible. It sounds like I'm shitting myself
You over here
on
spilling
podcast.
beans?
Hey, spilling beans normally means like you're telling your deepest, darkest secrets.
This guy over here spilling beans.
It is. Yeah. Well, Dream MMA fights are probably my deepest, darkest fantasies.
Favorite beans.
Like super fights that should have happened.
Well, I won't do this one because I have a few, but like someone like Fedor versus Brock. You know what I mean? That could have happened
Yeah.
realistically back in the day.
Yeah.
Didn't happen, but like something like that, you know, you could probably pair up.
Or like Anderson versus fucking GSP.
Or
Yeah.
even Jones versus Anderson or something
Or
like that.
yeah, I mean, greatest fighters that never won a title.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of
There's
fighters like
few.
that. I always wanted too, like whenever you have fighters that like never won a title, in my head, I don't count interim champions. Like someone's like Carlos Condit, who was interim champion. In my head, he never was a champion. You know, he won the interim title, but that seems like
But I also don't want to take that away take that away from Dustin Poirier.
changes in the rules.
only Dustin could keep his
Changes in the
title.
rules we'd like to see, maybe.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Most memorable fights.
Yeah.
Or underrated like banger fights that are awesome that no one
yeah,
talks about.
stuff like that.
Yeah, because I feel like there's a lot of fights that like happened 7 years ago that were like sick fights, but
Maybe
like,
if
no
there's
one
anybody
cares
listening
anymore.
out there, they could give us some comments and tell us what they'd like us to cover.
Or-
The sad part is I know for a fact that people listen because I can see
Do
the
they?
downloads, but nobody ever responds when I ask
Nobody
them to.
comments. Yeah.
we could actually maybe post.
I would like for people to comment. You know what I mean? Because we just get involved in the
Yeah.
conversation.
or we could maybe take a few questions from the Facebook and then answer them online.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we
On
got
air.
we got a couple people. Well, Brandon Huggins for sure.
Yeah,
will.
he could give us some ideas.
We need to bring him on in like a
Yeah.
video podcast.
Who, Brandon?
Yeah.
Oh, like try to do a video,
He's
put
in
him up on the
Vegas now,
screen.
yeah.
Yeah. It would be nice if he wasn't in Vegas. God damn it,
We should
Brandon.
fly him in.
Yeah, fly him in.
Is that in the budget?
Yeah, we got money.
The budget.
Yeah,
We'll check with the treasurer,
yeah.
which is also just you.
Hey, Jacob. By the way, we need to hire a free treasurer.
And he needs to bring a lot of money as well.
Yeah, because it's not going to be difficult if the account's going to be zero.
We need to buy a budget.
Yeah, is there? Can you buy a budget? Can I buy
I
like
think it's called a loan.
Can I buy like a $2,000 budget for like
Yeah.
$50?
We should put our stimulus checks in as the budget.
Yeah, well, honestly, my stimulus check is either going to go to, because we are getting another one apparently, it's either going to go to fixing up the place we're going to, or it's just podcasts
When
in
you get
general.
yours, I'll be there.
Hopefully you guys will be able to help me move in the next 2 days, or Tuesday, Wednesday, because I like most of it, a lot of it I can do myself, but then when we get to like the big stuff, I'm going to need some help.
Yeah.
And Jacob works a day job.
You
Weirdo.
have a job during quarantine or whatever this time of the life is? Because who's working now? Dave and him. That's it, right?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Keeping the economy going. Them two.
My buddy sent me. He like made up what he would like to see an MMA scorecard look like. I have the picture of it. I should bring it or send it to you. We can
Yeah,
put
send
up
it to
on
us. Send it to us.
because
and
it
then
was
we'll
pretty
pull
cool.
up.
It like
Yeah.
I mean, just it broke down like I mean, it had separate categories for things that they did, that categories that make sense. That you're like, why isn't that like a check? Like,
Yeah.
he had this many takedowns.
Yeah, there's definitely could be like rule changes. Like I just feel
Definitely
like
rule
there-
changes.
there's
yeah.
a lot of stuff that is
Yeah, like
outdated.
the knee to the downed opponent.
Yeah, that's
Why
not any-
dude?
that meant like it will dissuade somebody from shooting if you get your takedown stuffed
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
your head's right there.
Yeah.
You won't shoot as
Yeah,
lazily
you could
as you
like.
do.
I mean, that
Well, you can throw a knee to somebody throwing a takedown at them now.
But I
if
mean,
they
like
hit
even
their
getting up,
knee-
putting their hands down now or whatever they're
Yeah.
gonna do.
If they hit their knee first to take you down, you can't just knee them in the face. Like,
Yeah.
why?
I also really don't see the point to the what is it, 12 to
Yeah,
6
that's gotta
elbow.
go.
No, yeah, that's,
That should be.
it just
allowed.
looks barbaric, but MMA is barbaric.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
it
Let's
looks
be honest.
bad. Yeah, it looks bad, and I mean, it's not pretty
That's why
to
we're here,
watch.
though.
Yeah, you should be able to defend against it.
Yeah.
I just
If
feel
you
like
can't, you're gonna catch one, and
Then you're gonna be like, I don't want to do this anymore.
I just feel like strikes that are the same strike but in a different position, like the knee to the down head. It's like that's not any worse
yeah, they get
than what you're actually doing anyways. I feel like stuff like that. Like obviously, you shouldn't be able to punch people in the nuts and kick them in the nuts.
Yeah.
Stuff like that where it's just blatantly
eye poking,
right, or like
shit.
No
small
head.
joint.
I don't like
manipulation.
headbutting.
No,
Yeah,
No
Yeah, I mean,
obviously.
I could see an argument for the small joint manipulation thing. Like, if you're on me and I grab your finger back, or like, I don't know.
That just
But
becomes like
I think it would harm fights more than it would hurt them.
it would just make fights dumb.
Yeah,
like, it'd be
yeah.
dumb, like trying to bend fingers and stuff. I'm not trying to watch
Yeah.
people do that in a fight.
Right.
Jacob, I see you fighting with that microphone over there, but
going
did
on?
you have any
I
ideas?
think it's a 10-8 round for Jacob. I think he's
What do you
actually
wanna
taking hold of it.
Yeah, he's controlling it.
No offense to speak of from the microphone.
Yeah,
At least Dave would give it a 10-8.
it's not even intelligently defending itself.
No. It's literally just sitting there.
It's literally just an object.
This is going to be edited out, right?
Yeah, you guys won't have to listen to this. Yes, you will.
yeah, they're gonna.
You're hearing it right now. I promise.
I think that's good.
All right.
All right, Jacob, you
That's
have
the
any
most
ideas?
dead air we've ever had. It's not bad.
Did you have any ideas over there?
No.
Well, we went through all that work.
You're fired, dude.
Jacob,
You had one job.
I think I am going to have a better desk for you at the new place, though, because there's a desk in the
Not with
spare bedroom.
ideas like that.
Pay cut for him, actually.
Yeah, luckily he has a decent job because I wish I could pay him and I don't. So thank you, Jacob, for everything you do.
Thanks for all your hard work.
Thanks,
elsewhere.
Jacob. He's the unsung hero of the podcast.
He absolutely is.
Yeah.
It was. It took me a long time to find somebody to do what he does because I can't pay. And the partners I had previously that tried to they wanted to more be on air, on screen. And Jacob is like, no, man, I love doing the behind the scenes. I actually offered Jacob. I said, hey, Jacob, let's do an episode, me and you, one time. He's like, nah.
Jacob, you should get on one episode. You have to do one.
He'll collectively, you'll get to.
Well, in other things, like MMA just really isn't his forte. In
Yeah.
other things, he pipes up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he talks in other ones.
So yeah, you'll get collectively his
Yeah.
view on things.
Jacob, why do you do it? Why do
He's
you
like
do it
young
for
Jamie.
free?
What's in it for you?
Yeah.
Something to do.
Okay.
Something to do.
I
Yeah.
think it's a cool hobby.
Yeah, and if I ever do strike it rich with this, he's in.
Yeah. He's on the ground level. I'm just trying to get in.
He's
on the ground
he's
level.
actually my partner on the and thing.
He just
he comes in
believes.
and does this.
What if he gets poached by a better paying podcast?
Well, I murder that guy.
Wow, that's loyalty on both ends. I think. at this point.
Yeah. I mean, I would have to. I don't know what I would do without him.
Yeah.
So let's do edit out where I admitted that I was going to murder somebody,
Cut.
just in case.
Yeah.
Something I did want to bring up, just because it is actually news. There was a fight that was just signed. I think you brought up. God damn it!
Yeah. Do we have any news?
I fucking had it in my head. You brought it up in the text. I can't check my phone in the message.
What is it?
In our message on Facebook. You got your phone in front of you. It wasn't. It was. I can't remember what it was. There's a fight that just got signed, I think.
Mike Perry Kamzat?
No, that was a fun
Gunnar
fight. I
Nelson.
said.
Oh, for some reason I thought something actually got signed recently, and I can't remember what the fuck it was. Maybe it wasn't in there.
No, I think the last fight that I've seen was. I mean, I've seen smaller fights like the Jeff Neal Magny fight, like stuff like that was signed. But
Maybe that's what it was.
as far as like bigger news, I don't think anything came out recently. UFC 152, 252. I'm not sure what's on that card. 253. I think there's something they're talking about, but I have to look on like the internet to see like what they're talking about. Yeah, news has kind of been stagnant. Like it's like
because we're getting everything right away.
Right, there's a wall. It seems like that they like are hitting with booking, and I guess it depends on like ironing out which venue they're going to go to.
Yeah,
because I feel like Las Vegas. I don't know how long that's going. The pandemic's gonna, do what it's gonna do.
Yeah,
and states are gonna adjust accordingly. But
well, they said Khabib's gonna fight in the fall. Right. That's what they're saying.
No, well, Khabib
October.
supposedly is going to fight by the end of this year.
Yeah. Okay.
So not in the fall. Izzy's fighting September now. That was supposed to be the Khabib month, for his big
Yeah.
fight. I'm not going to put this
But
together.
I'm cool. That's cool. We get the Izzy fight that month.
Yeah,
but
yeah. I'd rather. I mean, as long as there's good.
something. Yeah, some big title fight.
I thought for a little bit, like, hey, maybe we should start watching those other promotions, but how much do we really want to talk about the other promotions?
Yeah.
Unless it's something crazy. If something crazy happens, I think we would probably bring it up anyway, but other
Yeah.
than that, I just don't see
Like
how we do
Bellator had
it.
a card Friday, like I like watched highlights of it just because I don't care about. I know Aaron Pico won.
That's
He's
a
pretty
really
prospect.
small audience, and you start getting down to those.
Aaron Pico's Aaron Pico's a prospect, but Aaron Pico also loses a lot.
Yeah, he was rushed. He was rushed though.
Yeah.
I think he made his debut like 0-0. He had no other fights ever.
Yeah,
So like
yeah.
it's like Bellator fucked him up by putting him against good guys pretty fast.
Yeah.
We could do like guys you thought were gonna be.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
prospect
big.
like people who like busted, right?
Yeah, basically.
That's a good call.
Like
Bus.
like biggest bust. Like Hector Lombard. You know.
Yeah.
Or like remember Houston Alexander?
Yeah.
Remember Rogan saying he was for real after he knocked out Jardine back in the day?
That he had the worst fight ever with fucking the Street Fighter. Jesus, why can't Kimbo?
Yeah, like he's literally the most gassed people I've ever seen in my life.
Well, Kimbo versus Dada 5000
Yeah.
was
That
the
was
two most
terrible.
gas people
Yeah, it
ever.
Until that fight, yeah.
I was really excited for Kimbo after that Alexander fight, though, because I don't know. I just was rooting for the guy, and I was like, "Oh, here we go! Kimbo's turning it on."
I actually really rooted for Kimbo hard because he seemed like a good guy.
Yeah.
yeah,
he
it seemed
was.
like a pretty.
Like the Ultimate Fighter, like I feel like how did you not love him when he was all the Ultimate Fighter and you really got to know who he was?
Yeah, he's
like
a big
Did,
teddy bear.
did you guys watch
Yeah.
that season?
yeah.
Yeah, that was actually one of the first seasons of the Ultimate Fighter. I
Me
ever
too.
watched.
Yeah.
It wasn't one of the first ones for me, but it was really upsetting that they put him up against Roy Nelson right away.
right away.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't put him up against a striker for his first fight?
You know, watching that season. You know, in retrospect, the biggest like story for me that season was like how good Matt Mitrione became as a fighter. Because on that show, he was bad,
Yeah.
He was really bad.
and like he got pretty
became
decent.
a fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah, like his hands got pretty good. He got like of course he was like a middling heavyweight still, but he was way below that on the
Yeah.
show. Like
Well,
he,
in Bellator, he's probably top 5, but
Yeah.
he would never do really anything still in the UFC. I don't think.
A lot of people came spinning out of that, though. You know what I mean? Like Schaub, look, he's got a whole career in other shit now. But
Yeah.
Schaub, Kimbo, the guy who fought Kimbo,
Roy Nelson.
Roy Nelson. I mean,
Yeah.
he wasn't. I mean, he was known in the MMA community, but he wasn't a big name. And then, I mean, he
Roy Nelson
had a
actually
great
is
career after
a
that.
pretty big heavyweight. I mean, like a pretty famous heavyweight just for his like his stature and
It's
his
so crazy.
hair and
He
stuff.
figured out how he was going to become famous too. I loved him too because he just played into the fact that he would jump up on the cage and just rub his belly.
Yeah.
And Dana White
Yeah,
hated it.
I remember. We remember that. Dude.
But honestly, he was the biggest waste of talent because he found out that he was going to get very popular by knocking people out, which he was good at.
until he wasn't.
Right,
Yeah.
but he's really good at jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Like really good. And he just never used it. Like he used it the whole Ultimate Fighter. He fucking crucifixed every single person
Yeah.
to get to the championship fight.
Until he knocked out
Brendan Shaw. But
yeah.
every person before that, he was like, I'm just going to take him to the ground. I'm going to crucifix him and punch him in the face till the ref calls it.
Yeah.
And he did it to
Yeah.
everybody because he could.
It was annoying to watch on the in
It
the
was
show.
Yeah,
so
he's like,
annoying
he's
to
wrecking
watch.
everything.
You hated him. And then when he got into the UFC and he just started knocking everybody out, you're like, this is
He's
awesome.
all right.
I feel like his physical limitations caused his game to be what it was. He had a
Yeah.
lot of power, but like he had no wrestling, so he couldn't take someone down.
Yeah,
really.
it's like how hard is it to maneuver BJJ wise if you got that big gut?
Yeah.
Yeah, and like he just couldn't wrestle. Like I remember when he fought Frank Mir, he got like judo thrown like 4 times and was taken down by a bunch by Frank Mir.
Yeah.
So it's just like I feel like he probably could have cut the 205 at some point in his life.
Oh, for sure. He
Yeah,
could have lost weight.
I mean, yeah, like maybe he could even went to 185. I don't
I
know
was
how,
gonna say
how much
probably
weight he was carrying
185.
on extra, but like
He was carrying
205
around
at
a
least.
lot.
Yeah, like how
had the-
good could he have been in really great shape?
Well, because let's be honest, when you look at him, you think there's no way he can be as good as he was
Yeah.
because
Right.
he had the biggest belly probably in UFC history. Like
Yeah.
that, who was that? Vellante?
Yeah,
He had a bigger belly than Vellante in that
He
fight.
did, yeah.
You know what I mean?
and he was better than that Vellante
well,
was.
well, yeah, for sure, without a doubt. I'm just saying he had that giant belly and would just KO people. like lights out, one punch, I'm out of here.
It just remember I showed you guys that picture of that Jake Collier guy who came from middleweight to heavyweight and just like got real fat.
Yeah.
And just like it's embarrassing to have UFC level like fighters in that terrible of shape. It just is like a bad look for the UFC. Like
I'm trying to think of
I'm
a
not
guy
saying,
though that he was like this Italian guy. He fought a lot back in like GSP's day. He was just always out of shape. He's just a portly little dude. I can't remember his name.
Remember I don't know. Yeah, it's like I don't think you should look a certain way to be a fighter. I don't think that. I think every body type is different.
Right.
Every skill set's
No, but
different.
you should be in shape.
Right.
Yeah.
Whatever your shape is.
Right.
like,
You should be in
it should
shape
be
with
in
that
it.
shape.
Yeah. Like it's just like whenever your shape is causing you worse damage to your career and your fight style and it's not doing you any favors, it should optimize your skill set
Yeah.
as a fighter. It shouldn't detract from it. You know?
Yeah.
So it's like he's doing himself a disservice. And also mentally too, there's a lot to be said about somebody who, you know, is deep in the mindset of being a champion, being a fighter, and getting in the shape to represent that.
Yeah.
And like it just, if your mind isn't there, how much are you really training against somebody who's, you know, in better shape than you?
Right.
It just like the evidence for, you know, is what it is at that point.
Yeah.
So,
You know who might have been the scariest person if they ever would have got ripped up in UFC history, especially heavyweight?
Who?
Mark Hunt.
yeah.
If
Well,
he
Mark
would've-
kind of has big bones. He was fat. He actually got in better shape than he was in Pride.
I agree,
Yeah.
but if he could have actually got like ripped up, like it would have been terrifying. Because
Yeah.
man, that dude was great on his feet.
Yeah. He lost a lot like in Pride when he was just a kickboxer to like random fighters.
Yeah.
He lost to Musasi. He lost to Fedor. He lost to all these other random
I
fighters.
think it's Paul Buentello. Remember
Oh,
Paul
yeah.
Buentello?
Oh, I do remember Paul Batuelo. He was a heavyweight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but
That guy-
it's just like it's like this
Yeah.
guy.
Wait,
he's
I-
not a fighter.
I remember whenever he tried to cut a promo in the UFC, and like it was the most awkward thing I've ever seen in my life. Like you can't rally people behind you if you're Paul Buentello. Just be,
It's not gonna happen.
yeah, just win some fights. I guess you're not going to be
Yeah.
a personality in the UFC.
The speaking about Mark Hunt in his Pride days, though, like literally, I love his story because when the UFC bought Pride, they bought his
Yeah.
contract with it, and they were just like, "Dude, we'll just pay out your contract." And he was like, "No, I want to fight."
Yeah.
And then he ended up being one of the most exciting heavyweights in the UFC for a while.
He actually lost his first fight. He like got beat by Sean McCorkle, I think, back when his first fight back in the UFC. Then he knocked out a bunch of people in a row.
a bunch of people. In
Yeah.
a row.
Well, probably like 4.
It like one hitter quitters.
Yeah.
like walk offs.
Then he ran into JDS. I
What's
think.
after the next card? Is it 252?
Yeah, you want to talk about it for a
Is
minute?
there a fight night in between?
Well, there's hey, we didn't preview next week's card.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, we
That
did.
was- that's what I'm saying.
Because
Is
Holly
there-
Holm dropped off, so
Yeah.
in my head it's like a different
Yeah.
card.
Yeah, that's it. But there's nothing else in between here in 252 besides that.
No, I don't think so.
No, there's another fight night card on the 8th, I think.
No.
No,
No,
I
that's the
thought
week
there
off.
was a card on the.
There is.
No, it might have got canceled. I'm pretty sure there isn't.
Can you bring it up, young Jamie?
Just UFC.
Young Jacob.
UFC events list.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a fight card.
Yeah, I thought there was something on the 8th. Up, that top there. And then
This is a
scheduled events. Okay, Shabazian 174. What? Okay, what is that? 174.
Oh yeah.
What is
what
it?
is that?
click on it.
Derek Lewis.
Versus Olenek.
Really?
Yeah.
Weidman versus.
So we don't even
Akhmedov.
have a break for what I was talking about.
Yeah, no, that's. I thought there was.
I haven't heard about. Oh well, you knew Omari was fighting.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay. While not officially announced, the organization, the promotion is targeting heavyweight bout between title
when the hell
challenger.
are
Oh,
they
yeah,
gonna
they announced it. Can't you? Don't you?
Are
need to
they
plan
doing
this,
this
a
or
little bit?
not? Like,
Yeah, like
There's
is
a
it
whole
happening
list of
or not?
it's like it's not even like a
It's
few
a whole
fighters.
card.
It's a bunch of fights. It's like I don't know if we're fighting.
And two of them are interesting fights.
Yeah, Chris Weidman.
Alex Caceres versus Giga Chikadze. Tim Means is always a fun fight.
Yeah, I was gonna say Tim Means is always fun to watch fight.
And that name Wellington Turman, that's like an old British
Yeah.
novel name or something like that.
Oh man, so maybe we don't even have a break to worry about this anyway.
Well,
Let's
we
still
don't-
think about them.
No one wants to. I mean, we could probably get through the preview for this card. pretty good.
Oh,
yeah, it's not gonna take a lot.
There's not a lot
even
on
the
it.
review of this last card, the next card coming up, it's not gonna take as long as.
No, yeah, we probably still will need to fill in some time. So.
Yeah, so yeah, that's true. So let's think about those anyway. But that's
Wait, Nazrat Hack Prass. All right. Wait, listen. He looks just like Kelvin
Wait,
Gastelum.
are you okay?
Yeah. It's not like I'm having a seizure.
Get that up, buddy.
hey,
He looks
pat
just like
him on his
Kelvin-
back. He's joking.
Look, that's Kelvin Gastelum.
That is, it's a mix between him and Paulo Costa.
Yeah.
He looks like
That's
when he
hilarious.
fights, they look more similar when he fights. Like
That's a
it's-
mix between him and Paulo Costa.
But yeah, I just know that about him.
but is this fight? We don't even really know if this is happening.
So it's not for sure happening.
I seen it on the
Where was
captions
it,
last
does
night when
it
they.
say where it
when-
was supposed to?
Oh,
take
did they?
place?
It's in the Apex, I think.
Are they done with Fight Island now?
For right now, I think they're gonna do they're doing the DC DC Stipe fight at the Apex.
But they have to keep that because still foreign fighters.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
it's
not
gonna be
done with
operable.
it, no.
Yeah.
But I don't like the idea of Stipe and DC fighting in the small cage. I don't
wonder
like
why
that.
that's not. It's not even on there. Of course.
That's
the
well, but,
classic-
Well,
but
the
I didn't even
website's
know it was
worse than
happening.
Yeah, is it happening? We don't know.
It's a
I haven't even
Phantom card.
I haven't even seen anything on like
Phantom
MMA
card.
Junkie or MMA Fighting, which
Maybe
to
it's
me are the
not.
two most reliable news sources for MMA, right?
Yeah.
I just made the card. I was on my phone and I was just like,
you just entered that into Wikipedia.
the card together.
the whole text and everything.
Gotcha.
When you were looking for that message of what fight, you were actually putting that in.
Uploading that real fast.
I'll watch any Derek Lewis fight if for no other reason. One, I love watching him fight. That's without a doubt.
I'm
but
concerned about his balls.
but I will watch it no matter what for his post fight press conference or talk.
Though I feel like every fight now he's like, man, I look terrible in that fight. Every fight he says the same thing.
But I think it's a good mentality for him
Yeah.
because he's somebody who has drastically improved with from the first time I saw him to the last.
for sure.
First time I saw him was actually on I might have been the Brendan Schaub, Roy Nelson fucking Ultimate Fighter. I think he might have been.
He wasn't on that season. No,
He wasn't on the
card-
season.
the card,
I think
yeah.
he was on the final card.
He might. I think the first time I've seen him, he was knocked out in a spinning heel kick by Sean Jordan. That was the
I
first
don't know
time
who
I've seen him
Sean
fight.
Jordan is.
Is he related to Michael?
Yeah, that's his third run in a sport is Michael Jordan.
You got to get your name up there. It's disrespect.
No.
Listen, I'm working on it. We should.
He's
we-
provided
hack
so
it.
much.
He's supposed to have it tomorrow. He when I initially asked him, I didn't want to bother him because he's going to make that change for free, and he doesn't really charge me. He didn't charge me for the original logo, and he doesn't really charge me much for. You were going to try to add it in there real quick, weren't you? He didn't. He barely charges me for the graphics he does make for me. So I didn't want to hassle him, but it was a little while, and I was like, "Hey, man, where do we fall on that?" Oh no, he messaged me. He's like, "Sorry, it's taking a while, but I'll have it done this day." And 2 days later, which was like yesterday or something, I brought it up, and he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I got caught up. I'll have it Monday."
Just put my face in the corner. Not my name, just my face.
We'll replace the money because when I asked Kyle about it, that was the one thing he didn't like was the money. We'll replace the money with just your face.
It says Brandon in blue.
There you go. So for now, there it is. Make it. Can you make it bigger?
No, that's it. That's how. That's
There
it.
we go. That's good enough.
I like it.
It's getting there,
Yeah.
and it's in blue.
Yeah.
But after we get that changed, then we'll definitely get some shirts ordered.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, you guys got anything else?
No.
No.
No. I do want to bring up quickly, man. And this has nothing to do with MMA. The Last of Us 2 is phenomenal.
I told you.
It's
Yeah, dude,
so fucking good.
I've heard of
yeah.
that game.
Yeah,
Heard it's pretty good.
It's I mean, like dude, Resident Evil 1 or Resident Evil 2 for the PlayStation 1 has stood the test of time as my favorite game. I mean, I've had like cooler experience. I mean, I've played better games, but
Yeah.
like I base like what my favorite game is on the experience I had at the time.
Yeah.
And dude, nothing has topped nothing like Last of Us 2
Yeah.
knocked Resident Evil 2, which is 20 years. It's been my favorite
Yeah.
game, and this I've never had a like deeper, more emotional experience with a video game in my life.
To me, Last of Us 1 was that one for me, and now Last of Us 2 is
Yeah.
taking it over.
I mean, yeah, Last of Us 1, I enjoyed it a lot, but man, this one just is out of this world for
What's
me.
the worst game you've played?
Superman 64.
That's what I was gonna
It's
say too.
terrible.
Fly through rings the whole
Fly through
time.
the rings. It's so awful.
That's hilarious. You guys both had the same one.
I mean,
I never even played it.
It's
terrible.
historically
It's a terrible
you
game.
you don't even fight enemies in that game. You
No,
literally fly through
well,
rings.
I mean,
A
there
little
may
bit,
be
a little
enemies
bit.
somewhere, but you can't get past the first thing to do it.
You just
It
fly
doesn't
through
matter.
rings at Superman.
On a timed ring thing, and if you miss one, you got to get back, and you're so clear. It's like a Ford Buick flying through the sky. Like,
Yeah.
it's awful,
It's really
dude.
bad.
To me, the game like that for me was the Top Gun for Nintendo, because the first time you had to land on an aircraft carrier, couldn't do it. Never could
Those
do
games back then were a lot more cheap
Yeah.
in their design.
It's funny because
Yeah.
like you spent so much time when you were a kid pissed off at a video game. Like I can't. This thing. It's like I didn't realize that sometimes they just design them shitty.
Yeah.
Like
So I remember like Ghouls and Ghosts, like it's like a platform game back for like Super Nintendo. You'd just be walking and shit would just pop in front of you, like you know,
I remember
like,
Ghouls and
yeah,
Ghosts.
it's just like cheap stuff like that where it's just makes
Wizards
it
and
so-
Warriors.
yeah,
I
so-
loved Wizards and Warriors.
Yeah, like those games were just like they made you have to be stuck on them forever.
Yeah,
until you
yeah.
just.
Did you see
get
what about
frustrated.
the UFC game? Did you play that?
I haven't played them in years.
Yeah.
The last one
I play them all the time.
The last one I played was the one that was out when Anderson Silva
THQs.
front kicked the fuck out of.
Oh, that was Undisputed 3. I love the Undisputed series. I think they had the controls perfect.
Yeah.
Whenever it went to EA, they like changed up the entire grappling system, and I've hated it ever since.
Yeah.
See, I play this
He
one.
plays the new one.
Yeah, and I'm pretty good at it. I play online and stuff like that.
I like
so-
the story modes in those games.
Yeah, I think the
remember.
new one's gonna be like where you take a fighter and they're all the same. It's like take a random dude from the ground up and bring him through the promotion.
Yeah.
On the last one, EA3, it was like eventually, your body takes damage, so you retire eventually. But like,
really?
You'd be fighting. It'd be you versus like some random fighter. Like you'd fight the same fighter like 9 times. Like
Yeah.
how many times am I gonna fight Mike Perry at welterweight, defending my title against Mike? Like
Yeah.
it'd have you like 7 times in a row. Like I'm not doing this
Undisputed.
anymore.
The first Undisputed, it was like 2009. I built up 1,100 wins and like 97 losses
Pretty
on that
good.
game online.
You're the best
I
fighter
was
of all time.
great at that game, dude. I mean, with Forrest Griffin is who I play. I played with Forrest Griffin almost every time. And
Really?
I built up like 1,100 wins, and so like I was really good at that one. And then when they changed everything, I was like, oh, dude, like I was so good at the game. Like
That's how I felt about Fight Night. I loved Fight Night.
was really. I love.
I loved it, but I was bad at using the joystick for punching. I was
Yeah.
bad at that.
Yeah. It's
hard.
So when they switched it to the pure joystick, and I think they went back to using buttons as well.
a lot of those have the option. You can just
Right, but the second or third Fight Night, they didn't give you the option. It was only joystick, and
Yeah.
I was like, "Fucking hey, I can't use this fucking thing."
What I hate though about any game like that is like there's always cheap things in
Exploits,
the gameplay
yeah.
that like you can't.
Yeah,
if
they
someone knows
cheat.
how to
It's
do
called
it.
cheesing.
Yeah, it just
Yeah.
sucks, you know. And like
Madden's bad for that. Like it's like Madden will be fun for the first month, and then I'll figure out something. I'm like, oh, this guy's open on every time.
And I feel like I don't put enough time in any game like that to be online and like doing well enough. There's people probably that are so good at it. Like any game you play, there's somebody who has less of a life than
Yeah,
you.
then
Yeah.
they can just figure it out.
Madden, I'm pretty good at, but I do a lot of franchise. I play online too, but
Yeah.
not as much. I enjoy the franchise. I enjoy doing.
The thing is that they've
all the
skimped on
off-season
that
stuff.
for like the franchise modes have all been like gutted in the last few years. It's nothing like back in like 06, the franchise modes were fun.
Yeah, I still enjoy.
They're not as involved.
I still
now.
enjoy these. I enjoy scouting rookies. I enjoy read the news to find out what headlines the
Yeah.
rookies are getting. It's weird, but the thing with that is I found a certain playbook and a certain like 3 or 4 plays that I originally worked all the time, and since the NFL season ended and they did some kind of upgrade and those plays don't work as well anymore.
Yeah,
It's like they caught on to the fact that, like you said, they're like, well, this guy's open every time. Seems like they kind of caught on to it. I'm still looking forward to the
but
next one.
but ultimately there will be another one that opens. They'll fix something, and then you just got to go find the other play that works now. Like 'cause
Right.
now,
I feel like the worst degradation of a series is like how bad wrestling games got. Like they used
I
to
used
be,
to love wrestling.
yeah,
games.
like I used to play
Yeah.
No Mercy, and then I used to play SmackDown when they first came out, and they were pretty fun. And now, like I remember maybe about 3 years ago, I tried. It was for free online, just like
You try to play online and you literally can't get up the entire time.
and like this like the worst gameplay of wrestling. It's so not fun.
But with those again, I like the story modes.
Yeah, they're fun. But the wrestling games, it's just fun. Like, oh, I could put a table under the cage. And just doing crazy shit.
I hate whenever you can't do anything besides like you're just DDTing somebody over and over because you don't know the moves yet. You're just like it's the cheapest
One
way.
move.
Yeah, you're just doing like an arm snap down for like 5 minutes in a row. You're like, I don't know any other moves. I'm just fucking mashing buttons at this point.
Again, you found a move that you know works for you.
Yeah, and,
Just do
and like
it.
it's not even a good move. It's just some shitty move that like
Yeah.
just like a freaking I don't know. But like I tried playing and it's like was so boring in comparison to like maybe because I'm 32 now
Right.
instead of like a kid. But
Right.
like No Mercy back in the day was the game.
I
Ghost
love
of
them.
Tsushima is good.
I
I'm
can't wait
playing
to
it
play
right
that
now.
one
it's
too.
really good.
This Last of Us 2 got me back into the mode of like I want to play some storyline games.
Yeah.
I do gotta ask because Jacob, you play games, right?
Yeah.
Well, so do you play purely computer or do you play console?
Both.
Both?
Yeah.
Have you been playing Last of Us?
I've never played that series
Did
at all.
play them
No,
both.
you never
Get
played 'em
'em-
either?
Get
Get 'em
the
both.
remastered Last of Us and get 2.
You got PlayStation?
Xbox.
Oh, well, you fucked
Wow.
up.
Yeah,
You ever play Simpsons Hit and Run? You ever play that game?
Simpsons Hit and Run.
I
You
do
play
have
that?
to say real quick, just me and Kyle's biggest argument, and I think it's a very valid argument, is they have more exclusives on PlayStation, and they're most of them are better. You should invest.
Yeah, they're just.
If I buy a PlayStation 5, I'll give
Lectured
you mine.
for free while doing work
But you
on
should
a podcast.
find a way to play The Last of Us, both of them. Because man, if I could, I'd kill to be able to go back and experience 1 and 2 straight through again, with never having played it.
You know Brian Joyce, right?
Yeah.
That's what he did.
Yeah.
He played The Last of Us 1 because he had never played it, and the hype around Last of Us 2. So,
Yeah.
and he probably hadn't played a game in 6 years.
Yeah.
He's bought every new console, but just hasn't played.
Yeah.
And he just buys it because he knows he does like gaming, but he never does it.
don't have
But
time or
but with The
whatever.
Last of Us 2, he was like, okay, and he went through The Last of Us 1, and now he's close to where I'm at on Last of Us 2.
I had played the first one when it came out, but for the 2 weeks leading up to Last of Us 2, I replayed the first one remastered, and it made it. It definitely adds to it to have that fresh in your mind, that
Yeah.
experience of the first one. But man, to be somebody who's never played either of them
I never
and
played
be
it.
able
Play
to
it
sit
back
through
to
and play
back.
it back to back right now, I would kill to have that.
I've never
experience.
played any of them at all.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you have
should. There's
PlayStation?
There's
I have
only 2 of
PlayStation.
them. So.
I'll
I
give
have
you,
both the Xbox and the PlayStation, but I play PlayStation.
The
Well,
remastered you could probably download on there.
I
for
have
pretty
it.
cheap. Oh, well, yeah.
I'll give it to you.
Oh, yeah, something borrow it. I'll play.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll
give it
let
to
you borrow the second one or whatever.
Yeah, I'll give it to you. And Jacob, I don't know, maybe you'll have to just come over here. You're gonna have a key to the new place, so you'll just be able to come over and play games whenever you
Ghost of
want.
Tsushima. You played Red
If
Dead.
you help me remodel the attic, you can move into the attic.
Did you play
It's actually finished. It just sucks.
Did you play Red Dead 2?
I didn't play either Red Dead, and it's something now
I
I want
played
to
a
go
little
back.
bit of
You
Red
don't
Dead
need
2.
to have played. Just play the second one. You don't need to what I mean.
It's not a story in that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is kind of relevant, but you don't need to. The
I
second
played
one
it
is
and
still great.
actually.
It's the main reason I didn't buy it when it was coming out because I
you-
hadn't played the first one.
It
No, you don't need
doesn't
it.
really matter. I mean, it does. It kind of helps to provide some context, but the second one is still a great game regardless,
Yeah.
and you'd still enjoy it. But like Ghost of Tsushima, what Red Dead did for like living in the old west, Ghost of Tsushima is
Does for, like,
feudal
samurai.
Is it better
and
than Red
shit.
Dead? You think?
No, but I mean, it depends on what you're looking for. Like the combat system in Tsushima is fucking super involved and it's really fun. Red Dead, I think the story is a little it's just
Meatier?
a little more dramatic,
Yeah.
and it's just a little there's a little more to it. But Ghost of Tsushima, if you're looking for like fun combat,
Yeah.
it's definitely better.
I
in
was
that
thinking
category.
if I don't get that right away after I'm done with Ghost of Tsushima, if I don't get that right away after I'm done with Last of Us 2, I may go back and buy Days Gone.
I'll let you borrow Red Dead too.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
have that.
Fuck, yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, play Red Dead too.
All right.
All right. Yeah.
Let's call it a night.
Yep.
All right.
Good
go
luck,
home.
everybody.
MMA Fools, always fun. I'm glad we've been doing this consistently now, so let's keep it up, and we'll see you next week.
Yep.
All right.
See you
Take
guys.
care.